Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom for the Ninja Troll Digicast. My name is Tim Dixon, and as always, I am joined by Mike Worth, the only man who leaves his cape at 1 hour martinizing and forgets to go pick it up.
Well, it's cheaper later.
It's true.
Yeah.
You wait the day, but then you lose the ticket, and you don't have the ticket when you go back, and then they're not going to give it to you.
And they don't give me the good starch like they used to, so I don't get
try
to
that.
glide like Batman.
You should try that home brew, the spray starch stuff that you can spray on your
Yeah, that's going to work.
ironing board.
Yeah, we'll get ready for that explosion.
Yeah, and always, no matter what anybody tells you, that canned air that they sell you, that is flammable.
Is it really?
I found that out the wrong way.
The one that cleans your computer keyboard?
Yes. Don't spray it on it. Yes.
Were you like, oh, what would happen? And then what? Your keyboard's melted?
I thought it was good. I could just use that to clean out a projector that I was working on, and all of a sudden, a little fireball came out the side. Not
Awesome.
cool, man.
Awesome.
Well, it's awesome when you're standing over the other side of the room.
That's where I was, and that's why,
Not when you're standing next to it. But coming up on today's show, we've got a lot of great. This show is packed. Actually, we're a couple of days late doing it this week.
Every show is packed, Tim.
That is true, but this one's extra packed. This is an 80-page giant.
Nice.
We're a couple of days late, so we got a lot of news that's come out that we need to talk about in our Exploring the Multiverse segment. We're going to have Crisis in Limbo.
Yes.
Where the Ultra Humanite has the worst plan ever. It's not backed by any kind of scientific fact at all.
Well, he thinks so.
He
so
thinks
that's
it
fun.
is, but he's a mutated ape. So there we go. Also, in our showcase segment, we've got a Robin showcase.
Awesome.
I was going to do all the Robins in one showcase, but it can't happen. There's too much.
Nope.
There's too much.
It can't be a 90-page giant today.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do is split the showcase segment on Robin into two segments. This week will be part one, which will cover Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. Those are the first two guys who were Robin. And also, like we were saying in the movie and TV news, we got a lot of news that is coming out about some movies coming up, a rumored movie that I am really excited about.
Yeah.
And in the comic rack, we've got some news of some heads rolling. Well, not really some heads rolling, but some titles are being canceled.
Oh.
Some surprises, some not surprises. So we'll get to that in the comic rack. But we want to start out by giving a shout out to two guys who are
fixtures.
They're fixtures that heroes aren't hard to find, and they're I haven't met them yet, but I hear that they're very big fans of the show, and that I love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Ben and Jerry. Yes, not the ice cream makers.
Bring me some chunky monkey.
Yeah. But amazing comic book lovers. I mean, I see Ben in there every Wednesday when I go in. I went for the signing for Toby Cypress and Alexis Sarit, and Ben was there, and he kind of gave me a big thumbs up from across the way. So we just wanted to give them a shout out.
That's awesome.
That they're hardcore listeners and they love what we're getting into.
That's good. Yeah, because and that's the thing. We are you guys. I mean, we love comics.
Yeah.
Simply put, and we
love our comic stores and we love our comic friends and the culture. It's pretty rad. So
yeah, we just want to give a big shout out, and if anybody else is out there listening and that really loves the show, reach out to us on. You can email us, go on our Facebook page, Twitter, tweet, Snap, Insta, whatever
Chop.
you want to do. Chop, yeah, Judy Chop, however you want to get a hold of us. Just let us know that you're listening to the show and that you're liking what you're hearing.
Yeah.
And we during this week, there's a bunch of things that popped up. At Dragon Con, Dragon Con was last weekend.
Right.
A group of cosplayers and George Perez celebrated the 30th anniversary of Crisis.
Awesome.
If you can find the video, I don't think I posted it on the Facebook page, but I need to do that. It's really great. You had even the Superman with the salt and pepper.
Nice. Earth 1.
Earth 2.
Earth 2, yep.
Yeah. With the salt and pepper at his temples. You had the new Dr. Light.
Nice.
There was a John Stewart Green Lantern.
Cool.
A
Pariah that we have, or a Harbinger?
I don't think I saw a Pariah. I'm sure somebody was. I didn't watch the entire video. but yeah, I'm sure there was a pariah and a harbinger. That was, I mean, it was great to see George Perez as part of the group, kind of celebrating his creation from 30 years ago.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
And it's great. That's, with this whole exploration of the multiverse that we're doing, that's really what we're leading up to. Is, I mean, there's crises after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and
Yep.
we'll keep going. But what really got this all started was Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right. The
So-
ultimate crossover story.
Exactly. So that's, I mean, that this is the 30th anniversary is just perfect that we're doing this whole exploration of it. So, but yeah, it was a lot of, like I said, if you can go out and find that video, I'll try to find it and post it on our Facebook page so you can go there and look at it. But it's a lot of fun to see.
And we always talk about this magic year, right? So it's like the 30th anniversary of this magic year in comics. But also, I guess, and this is wonderful, is G.I. Joe first
Yes.
aired in 1985, right? Probably about the time
yes.
Crisis came out.
Was it yesterday or the day before?
It was
It's,
the sort of fall cartoon kickoff.
Actually, no, it's today.
What's today?
That September 18th, I think, if I'm not badly mistaken, was the day that it premiered.
Oh, that's so rad.
So yeah, it is literally the anniversary today of G.I. Joe, and knowing is still half the battle.
And you know what? That's so true. But what's the other damn half of the battle?
I don't know.
Is it like punching people,
They
and
never told us.
waterboarding, and like illegal? Like what else? They don't tell us. The
tortures
other
the
half
other half of the battle?
We could assume it's a red and blue laser fight.
Oh yes.
With a proto-communist humor.
I loved it that they had different guns, so you could tell who was shooting at who.
Right, like the bad guys had like sort of very technical looking rifles, very high end, and then the Joes always had like what looked like World War II
Yeah, it
sort
looked
of
like Mausers.
bandoliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like it was like they get 3 or 4 shots, but they all shot lasers.
Yes.
Okay, all right. It's the
But
'80s.
no one ever got hit. No one died.
That's true.
It was the 80s. Nobody died in the 80s.
Well, Duke in the movie, right?
Did he?
got bit by the snake.
Oh, he did. Didn't
By Cobra Commander's snake, and then
That's
well,
not
Serpentor, Serpentor, the like super bad guy. But anyway,
Yeah,
right? A lot of 30th birthdays to celebrate.
Yeah, yep.
Ours included this year, right? We're both turning 30 this year, so it's gonna be a wonderful thing.
That'd be nice. I'm the reboot of 30.
Hey, it's an anniversary of
Yeah.
that time.
All right, Stephen Amell. We were talking a couple weeks ago. Stephen Amell had his match with Stardust at
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. They also this past week announced that they had together had raised $300,000 for Children's Hospice.
Awesome.
So the two of them coming together to do that. They put their differences aside to raise money for a good cause. And also,
It's a nice chunk of change.
yeah, 300 grand that's a lot.
Yeah.
Stephen Amell kind of, I don't really know. I wouldn't say he stepped in it on Twitter, but he caused a little like mini controversy this week because he's very active on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And when the whole story about the kid who built the clock, that got that story picked up, and a lot of people were saying, oh well, that it's in Texas, oh they're all idiots in Texas, and he he just tweeted and said, listen, generalizing about Texas is just as bad as generalizing about the kid, because a lot of people are saying the kid, because his name was Ahmed, that's the reason
Right.
the kid got hassled
He
about
got
the clock.
profiled. Yeah, he got
Yeah.
stereotyped. Yeah, for
And
sure.
Stephen Amell's tweet was that generalizing about people from Texas is just as bad as generalizing about the kid named Ahmed.
And what was who was sort of barking back at him?
I don't know. That's the thing. I didn't even see that part. All I saw was the story that said he's stepping back from social media
For
a while.
an indefinite amount
Yeah,
of time.
yeah. He just said for a while.
Yeah.
So which I think is I mean, it's not that his tweet wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Might have just been poorly timed. I mean, I get the core of what he's saying. I think it makes sense. But I guess this is a social issue, a social justice issue, right? So like this, it might not have been. Yeah, I think he could have chosen something better to tweet it about.
and
but-
that's what he said when he actually put out a series of 8 tweets, because you can't do a
Explaining.
good message,
Yes.
a good long message on Twitter. So he numbered them all and put them out, and basically said the first thing he said was, I promised myself I would never tweet about a real event, and I broke my rule.
Interesting.
Because he's just keep thinking that's the way he approaches social media is just nothing really real. Basically, it's just
His character.
and
wrestling
kind and the
yep.
stuff. Yeah, he gets
Arrow.
he doesn't want to get bogged down, and that's the thing. He broke his rule, and it ended up biting him in the ass.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to comment. Feel like you can. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially where he is.
Because somebody's going to get mad, and then it gets blown out of proportion, which is pretty much, it seems like what has happened here.
And look, if this kid's like as nerdy as I saw him on TV building clocks and stuff,
Yeah.
he watches Arrow.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
I hope he's old enough to at least.
Yeah, yeah. And this kid he's been offered internships now at JPL, the Jet Propulsion Lab, has offered
NASA,
him
JPL, yeah.
Yeah, they've
Well, he
offered
said he
'cause
wants to go to MIT. He said.
Yeah, and he was wearing a NASA shirt when he was arrested, or put in handcuffs at least. So yeah, he's having time of his
He's a
life.
steam criminal.
Yeah. But somebody I saw today, somebody took a picture of Steve Jobs and Wozniak back when
Steve
they were
Wozniak,
when they were building the
Yeah.
Apple II.
On a piece of wood.
Exactly. And they took that picture and said a dark complected man of Syrian descent is building things in a garage.
Profiled.
Yeah.
Totally profiled versus two California dudes. Yeah, white dudes.
It was great.
Yeah.
An Alaskan state legislator, Brian Box, explained his jump from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party by referencing Skyfire from the Transformers.
Wow.
Because Skyfire went from being a Decepticon to an Autobot.
Unreal. What a reference.
Exactly. But he couldn't remember the name. He couldn't remember Skyfire's
the
name.
Transformer? Oh.
Yeah, he just said, it's kind of like me going from this party to this party is kind of like that Decepticon jet that went to the Autobots.
Unbelievable.
Hey, that's
He's
a good
got
little
an
shout
interesting
out.
constituency, I'm sure. in
Yeah,
Alaska.
I'm sure they're sitting there going, wait, what?
Yeah, who's
And also this week, the United Kingdom Royal Mail System has announced that they will be issuing 18 special stamps to celebrate Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Sweet.
With both classic characters and new ones from The Force Awakens.
That's great.
So yeah, they look really good. I mean, I don't know if you're able to buy them from overseas.
Well, we
don't know.
know some UK friends. Maybe we
There you
can get a set.
Yeah, we
Or
can get them
they're
sent
going to be like,
to us.
yeah, sure, and then give us like a Xerox copy. 'Cause I'm sure there's probably some Force fans over there.
I still never got any of the Batman stamps that they put out. I kept meaning to
Did you
go
send
and buy
away
some.
for them, or
No, I kept meaning to go buy some, and I just
okay.
never did. So
Gotcha.
I'm sure you can.
You say it got
find
lost
them.
in the mail? How ironic. Hey.
The new Game of Thrones novel, The Winds of Winter, is
Nice.
coming next year.
Sweet.
That's a big deal. A lot of people have been waiting on it. And
The
so,
series is stalling a little bit,
Yeah.
because they're waiting for more fodder from R.R. Martin.
yeah, so he's announced that it's I think it's done. It's basically in post production, and it'll be out probably first part of next year. So
They need the fantasy artist to finish the cover.
probably
I get it. It takes a while.
Yeah. And Star Wars Land will begin construction in 2016.
Woo!
In Orlando.
I-
In Orlando and California. Where is it at in California? Is it L.A.?
Well, would it be near Disney World?
yeah.
Or Disneyland?
Yeah, it's on the same. Disneyland
Disneyland
is California.
Isn't that Burbank?
Maybe.
I think it is.
So it's essentially L.A. area.
Yeah,
So
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Area. That's
Um,
so exciting.
yeah.
I've already
And-
gassed my car up for this.
Yeah, I know. And the Indiana Jones themed bar and restaurant in Orlando is getting ready to open in a couple weeks, September 22nd.
I heard.
Actually, that's next week. That's
Yeah.
Tuesday.
That is. Sure
We gotta
is.
go down now.
I heard, and I hope this is true. It might be a rumor, like Goonies 2, but I heard that when you leave the bathroom and you don't wash your hands, the boulder comes down.
Nice.
And it chases you
gotta
back
run.
to your, right towards a wet nap.
Yeah. That would
Right
be
towards the
awesome.
Purell dispenser.
That would be cool. And this one, I don't have a PlayStation 4, but I may go buy it just to get this.
Yeah.
Walmart is offering a Han Solo mini fridge.
Frozen in carbonite.
Frozen at the front
saw
is
that.
Han Solo frozen in carbonite. The pre-order of Star Wars Battlefront for the PS, I think it's just for the PS4. It may be like others too.
But is it the Battlefront PS4? Because they put out editions of PlayStations, like they did an Arkham Knight PlayStation that had graphics, Batman graphics on it.
I don't know.
I wonder, because that seems like a large item for just a game.
But it's like a 6-pack cooler.
Oh, it's a
So it's
super
not like a
mini
mini fridge.
Oh, I thought it was
Like-
like a
it's
legit
not like a
dorm room special.
No.
Okay.
No. So yeah, but I mean, even then,
You could
I
fill it
would-
with like soda,
Yeah.
soda.
anything you want to keep cold.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I don't have a PS4, but I may just go and get one of these. Or I'm sure they'll end up on eBay.
Well, those fridges are going to be worth a ton. I mean,
Yeah.
anything limited edition Star Wars now is crazy
Yeah,
hard
and it's
to find.
just awesome to see because the front of the little cooler is him like stuck in carbonite.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome. And we talked about this for a couple of weeks that we needed to put together a list of
Nice.
TV shows when
And
they're going to premiere.
you've
and
done it.
There we go. Here we go.
You're a
Okay, the
little
first
Cub Scout
one
here.
The first one is actually Monday,
Sweet. All right.
the 21st.
I cal it up right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Gotham premieres on Monday, September 22nd. So only
Nice.
a couple days there, and we'll have our first of many. And I'm actually I didn't catch the end of. I still have one more episode
Of Gotham.
of Gotham to be caught up.
Okay.
Um,
Is this I haven't done this show, Tim. I watched the first episode. I was impressed, but I mean, I heard like you and Chuck Charles and a few others getting really excited as the season went on.
It
Is that
was
really-
the for me the breakaway star is the Penguin.
Okay.
It's been so fun to watch him because he starts. That's where the whole umbrella thing comes from him. He starts as
Like a valet.
Fish Mooney. She's Jada Pinkett Smith.
Okay. Who's a
is-
crime boss,
yeah,
right.
She's a crime boss, or like she's not a boss, but she's one of the
there.
lieutenants. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's carrying her umbrella. That's when you first see him. She gets out the car and he's holding the umbrella.
So a valet of sorts. Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of.
So he moves up.
Gotcha.
He's always got like 3 levels of a plan going.
Wow.
And he's always moving and shaking and playing one side against the other. And it's been a lot of fun. And the guy Robin Lord Taylor,
Okay.
who plays Penguin,
Yep.
just kills it.
Just kills it.
Absolutely kills it.
Now you've also said that a criticism of yours has been that the show over villained. They got
Yes.
too many too quickly.
Yeah, too quickly. The ones that because Penguin is already moving up.
Mhm.
In which I'm too. I've watched the next to last episode of this season, and it feels like he's going to be making a huge move to become one of the
bigger-
bosses.
Wow.
And it's like, okay, that's a little too soon. Because Batman's still a 12-year-old kid.
Right.
But you've seen Riddler, Edward Nygma, works for the police.
Right. He's a decipherer.
Yeah, yeah. They
Code
kind of
breaker.
they haven't really been specific about exactly what his job is. They he helps the medical examiner at times. He works on files and stuff like this. You're not quite sure what he's just in the lab.
Has he made
And you don't
coffee for
really-
anybody? Because I mean,
Probably at some
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
alright.
But he just, from what I was, the ones I was watching, he just killed somebody. And he's now disposing of the body
what?
in the medical examiner's
How
laboratory.
convenient.
Exactly.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
a job with a perk.
Because he's in love with the girl there at the station. She's dating a cop. The cop's a jerk. And he ends up, hey, you need to leave her alone. And he goes, what are you going to do? And then it ends up going badly, and the cop ends up dead.
Ooh.
So,
That
he's
sounds great.
going bad. You've seen what seems like is a young Joker.
Oh, really? But we don't know yet.
Yeah, they haven't said, but
Isn't
it's,
he a
if
real
it ain't-
comedian?
He was.
Or what does he
No,
do?
he wasn't. He was a kid who had killed his mother, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, but he's always giggling. He's got the laugh. He's got the look. It's
Nice.
so it could be him easily. So it's just like this really cool the way you're doing it, but unfortunately your timelines are starting to get a little off.
Yeah.
But the show itself is very, very good. That criticism aside, the show itself is really, really good. And watching, like I said, watching the Penguin make his way up, watching Fish Mooney is just awesome because she is a hardcore chick. I mean,
Yeah.
she is.
She's not signed on for the next season. Jada
No,
Pinkett,
I think
right?
I believe she just the episode I just watched, she got shot.
Oh,
So,
so they're working her out. It
yeah,
seems
and
like.
that seems like she's gonna pass away. But I need to see if I can find it online or something because I don't know. I don't think it recorded. I was the reason I missed the last couple ones is my DVR is set to only save 5. So when it went to reruns and I hadn't watched them, it just started
filling back the queue.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it started dropping. The old one started dropping off. So I've got to wait until it comes up.
I wish those things were smarter.
Yeah,
So on the 29th, it looks like we got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
exactly. Yeah. So next week is Gotham. Then the next week will be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on the 29th.
On Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, Gotham's on a Monday.
Yeah. And then the next week, the one that
Competition
that
here.
my daughter is going nuts about and cannot wait.
Grant Gustin!
Yeah. The Flash debuts on October 6th. And
Oh,
right
wow.
after it, iZombie.
Okay.
Then the next night, Arrow debuts. And then that Sunday, which this is going to be a huge week. That Sunday,
Wow,
my
yeah.
birthday, The Walking Dead premieres. Thank you for working that out.
Is it? Nice.
And then October 26th, I'm not sure what night of the week is that.
26 is a Monday.
It's a Monday, so Supergirl's going to be on Monday night.
Wow. So we got some competitors for evenings, it seems like.
Yes.
Um,
Flash comes on at 8, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes on at 9.
oh.
So they're not direct competition. Actually,
Zombie will compete.
iZombie and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would be direct competition.
So that's what they're doing. They're trying to pull viewers from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Or from that. Right? What Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is what network?
It's ABC.
ABC. All right. And then Gotham is Fox.
Gotham is Fox.
And then Arrow and
CW.
Flash are CW. Walking Dead is AMC.
Yep.
And Supergirl is
CBS.
CBS.
Yeah.
So we got most of the majors covered here.
Yeah.
And then
And
there's
then-
Heroes. Reborn.
Heroes Reborn will be. I don't know when that debuts.
We've seen
I
that
didn't find
trailer
out.
now on every YouTube video
Exactly.
we watched.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
forgot.
So I've started to roll my eyes. And also Jessica Jones, the entire first season of that uploads to Netflix on
so great.
November 20th.
Yeah, that's great.
And the trailer for that looked really good. Not a lot of real images.
No,
It was
CG.
more of a feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you look at one point in that in the trailer, you can see Avengers Tower in the background.
Cool.
So
they'll
they're
reference
they're
it.
letting it know. Yeah, and there was a Daredevil trailer that you could see, or a poster that you could see Avengers Tower as well.
Oh,
So they're letting you know that it does exist in the same area.
And then
Well,
one-
the whole thing of Daredevil,
Yeah.
Kingpin is taking advantage of the cleanup after the Battle of New York.
Yeah.
That's the whole.
Right,
that was the whole
right.
thing. That he was. There's a lot of construction to be done, and there's a lot of opportunity for them to get in and do that stuff.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
And then one other show I think hopefully you've enjoyed it is The Awesomes on Hulu.
I have not seen that
You
yet.
haven't yet? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's a great show, and it was something I noticed the other day because I started watching the last few episodes of season 2 to get into season 3, which is now airing on Hulu. Same as Jessica Jones, you sort of get them all.
Yeah.
Is the strong man in the group because everybody's archetyped
The Brick. Yeah.
is a little young Asian guy
Nice.
who's very much like Amadeus
That's
Cho.
what I was about to say. Yeah.
And he hulks out into a giant sumo. And I was like sitting there like, well, why would they choose that? Like I get some of the other characters, but why would they? And then now that you taught me
Yeah.
about Amadeus Cho, I was like, there it
you
is.
Go. Yep.
And that's Seth Meyers back, so
Oh,
there's
okay.
some good talent, good humor, and
Okay.
good comic knowledge too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a smart show.
That's cool. Yeah. I'll have to see if I can check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's out now, so you can just
Okay.
jump on that.
Yeah. And that kind of just leads us right into our movie and TV news.
Yeah.
And this is the one that I'm really, really excited about it right now. It's just a rumor,
Mm.
but I think things point to it being true. There's reportedly a Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie in the works with Greg Berlanti set to produce. I am so happy. I'm so happy. But the things that point to it being true is the CW, the Arrow, was going to introduce Ted Cord,
And
but
then
they were
backed
told,
off
yeah,
the
they were
Cord
told
Industries.
they had other plans for both. Actually, there was talk at some point of bringing in Booster Gold as well,
Wow.
and they were told that they had other plans for them.
Whoa. But they have to bring him into Legends of Tomorrow somehow because he's a time traveler, right?
Yeah,
Booster?
and Rip Hunter is Booster's son,
I did not know that.
although he's older than Booster.
Wow.
Wrap your head around that one.
It's Uncle Grandpa. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the beauty thing about, with time travels, you always have that, and that's always the thing is that Rip is Booster's son, and occasionally after at first he didn't know, he didn't tell him,
Yeah.
but then after he knew, like, he would screw up every once in a while and call him Dad, and Booster would go, stop. Because he's older than him in their interactions.
Yeah.
So it's like
Rip's in his 50s or so, and then
Yeah.
Booster's like late 20s,
Yeah.
early 30s.
So it's like it screws with his head. So he's like, don't do that. So
Because Booster's thing is that like he goes back and then knows what's up, and
Yeah.
Skeets can always tell him what
exactly.
his memory
he
banks
has,
say.
he has memory banks with everything that
A floating
happened.
internet, yeah, that can
Exactly,
shoot
yeah,
lasers,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I'm really
That's-
looking forward to that.
Me too. I'm pumped because, like,
Yeah.
I think you've given me an appreciation for Blue Beetle
Mhm.
more so. I mean, I've always found Booster Gold to be a really just fun character.
Yeah.
Because he's such a jerk and he's so pompous. And,
Yeah.
And,
And
he's
he's-
from the future. So
Yeah, and he's just
fun.
there to make money. That's the reason he comes back in the first place, and
Right.
he keeps falling ass backwards into being a hero.
Yeah.
Not by any choice, like, not that he's wanting to do it. It's just stuff happens. And he ends up saving the day.
There's a great episode of Justice League television show where Martian Manhunter keeps telling him to like run crowd control during this major
Yeah.
thing, and then somebody's like, "No, you have to help us," and he ends up solving a much larger issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when he tells everybody, they don't believe him
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
it seals itself in the time continuum.
Yeah, and it's like, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, sure, Booster. Yeah, you saved the day."
Yeah, and Superman will say
Yeah.
like, next time when we tell you to do something, you do it. And he's like, what?
It's awesome.
Well,
I
that'll be
love
great.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And a source says that the Spider-Man that we will see in Civil War will have been fighting crime for about a year.
Ah,
So he's been doing it for a while, but he's not like really a public figure. It's only like an urban legend kind of thing.
and if he comes out, I wonder because it's like, gosh, in the story Spider-Man for so long, and then when he
Exactly.
comes out, it's such a big
It's
deal.
such a big deal.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll play on just like the danger of coming out.
Yeah.
And it just being like,
Yeah, it'd be interesting
With
to
a
see
young
how they
Spider-Man.
use him in that. Yeah.
that's
So-
crazy.
But yeah, that is and again, a source says, so you take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
That's what
Yeah.
they're saying now.
It's like when your TV says cannot find source.
Yeah,
That's when
Exactly.
you don't report that story.
yeah. And Scott Glenn, this is actually real. We know this. Scott Glenn will return as Stick in Daredevil season 2, so we'll
Awesome.
get to see at least
His
a
kung
couple
fu
episodes.
master trainer.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah, which it's I think was
What a
awesome.
great casting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He was such a jerk.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And when Matt made the picture for him or whatever, or like I forget, he wanted to give him a gift,
Yeah.
and Stick was like, "Why would you ever do this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your dad, please." And I was like, "Damn, like that's
It's messed up.
loss,
It's
The poor kid. He's
great
like,
relationship you got there.
seriously.
And John Barenthal has tweeted a picture of him.
Yeah.
He's getting closer to having the actual outfit on, and I think eventually we'll see a picture of him wearing, because he tweeted a picture.
Dosing it. He's
Oh yeah,
dosing
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's great.
He tweeted a picture of him wearing a Frank Castle / Punisher jersey.
Yeah.
It's like a basketball jersey, and the back says Castle with a skull on it. So yeah, it's like I said, we're getting closer and closer.
The guns.
Yeah.
Jersey.
Oh yeah,
and
the guns were just crazy.
when we see a black leather jacket, I think that's when we all lose our shit.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
The Walking Dead has cast Xander Berkeley in a major role for season 6. Now, when they announced this, they specifically said
He's not the
that
bad.
it will not be Negan.
So are we gonna have Negan in this new season?
The rumor is that at the end, like the finale of season 6, will be the introduction of Negan,
Whoa.
which would line up with Walking Dead 100 in the comic book that I was.
Yeah, you were saying was that turning point.
That was
issue.
a big, huge deal, and a major character bites the dust at the hands of Negan, in a very brutal way.
Oh,
So
I don't want to know.
yeah.
Okay.
So that 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 would be an awesome cliffhanger
Yeah.
for the season.
Totally.
So if that works out the way it is, but as far as Xander Berkeley, one possibility is Gregory, who is the leader of the Hilltop colony, which is another town in the Washington area around where Alexandria.
Yeah.
Because they're not living in Washington, because Alexandria is like a suburb.
Yeah.
And there's a couple communities around there.
Right.
That
the Hilltop. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got family in Alexandria, so it's like
okay.
It's
kind of weird.
Yeah, I was seeing that because it's very colonial and kind of old and cute, and there's the big giant Masonic temple that's there and by the train station. Yeah, it was cool to. Well, it's like people who go on the Walking Dead tours and stuff. And a good buddy of mine, Jude Buffum. He's a fantastic artist. If you get a chance, look up Jude Buffum, Jude Buffum, buffum.com. He was just in Croatia, and they did in Dubrovnik, and they did all the Game of Thrones tours.
Oh, nice!
So you get to sit in like 4 Iron Thrones in all these various locations.
Is it as uncomfortable as it looks like it should be?
It is. You get a little iron in the tush.
And,
that makes you sit like a king. You have
to sit forward like that because if you lean back, you stab yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. You go the way of the Mad King. Yeah.
A little bad news for Gambit. The movie again.
What is with this movie?
It has now lost. Before it was like the rumor that Channing Tatum was not going to do it, but then they announced that they are.
Yep.
This is official. Their director is gone. Rupert Wyatt has left the project, and there's of course different sides of it. When he announced that he was leaving, that he claimed a push in the start date made it conflict with something else he had in his schedule, so that's why he's
Pilates?
not doing it.
Like what?
There's some other project that he's
maybe
supposed
he's
to be
working
doing.
on something big. All right.
Yeah. So that's what the message he put out. There are some saying that was just a cover saying that he just didn't want to work with the group anymore. I don't know. So,
something's in that whole production world that stinks. And that I think people are getting in and then going, oh, maybe I'll deal with it. And then maybe they're realizing they can't.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? We don't know anything about that.
Well, if you think about it, it's very high pressure.
Yeah, with comic book movies, they better be good. Otherwise, you're a Fantastic Four. And,
exactly.
And you're done.
Yeah, and you have your own stars making fun of it. Have you seen that? The lady who played Sue Storm is constantly making jokes about it now.
Yeah. She's like,
how bad it was.
She's like, oh, I haven't seen that movie yet.
Yeah.
Right? But they're on for 2. Fantastic Four 2.
They're still trying to figure out how that's going to work. And also, Deadpool and Gambit will interact with the current X-Men franchise.
Cool.
Which is that was going to they want to have that cinematic universe like Marvel has. So
Deadpool's a winner. That's going to be forget it.
Yeah. So and there are rumors that Brainiac will be the villain for the Justice League movie, which is coming up 17.
Yeah, I think it's on our big timeline. Great.
That would be. Of course, that's a no pun intended. It's a no-brainer. See what I did there?
But it's called humor. Yeah. But I wonder, will they do? Because Ultron was very robotic. I wonder, will they do sort of the metallic 70s?
What version of Brainiac will they do?
Or the skinned one with the dots on his head?
The dots on his head. I would love to see that. Like the green skinned guy with the dots on his head. That would be awesome.
Who became a Young Justice, Brainiac 5, right? He became
Legion.
Legion
of Superheroes.
Legion of Superheroes. Yes.
Yeah, a different version of him. Yeah, he became one of them.
Right.
So that would be cool to see. Rachel McAdams has confirmed that she will appear opposite Benedict Cumberbatch in Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Now, I know
just like
a little bit of about Doctor Strange. I know he's the Sorcerer Supreme, and that's the Eye of Agamotto, but apparently his longtime love interest in the comics is named Clea.
Oh.
So I guess that would be
Could be
the most likely.
Mrs. Strange.
Yeah, I guess it would probably be the most likely
Okay.
of who she's going to play. So, but it's a big name, and it's a very good actress.
Cool.
To be attached to it, so that's always good, and to be across from Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, that's going to be awesome scenes.
It'd be really good. So, producers and Fox are very high on what they see of Deadpool.
So are we?
But they're in post production, so they're getting to see more of the finished product.
That's awesome.
And they're very high on what they're seeing, and there's definitely talk of a sequel.
I'd be sad if there wasn't.
I would be shocked if there wasn't.
It's gonna crush.
Yeah,
I really think.
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna do well.
there's talk of Cable for the sequel.
Oh, nice.
So that'd be nice. They're definitely like the odd couple.
Yeah.
And it worked. The chemistry works perfectly. So
didn't they have a title for a while?
Oh,
Deadpool
yeah.
Cable. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's
swords, guns that have like a 50,000 chambers and caliber.
Yeah. And Cable's always angry and always
his
grousing.
eyes always glowing. And
and Deadpool's always just yucking it up. So it's
oh man,
it's crazy.
That's exciting.
Gotham we were talking about Gotham debuting Monday. It's going to start out the season with a bang with 2 characters biting the dust.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're not saying good or bad.
No, they're just saying the TV Guide got to see it, and of course they're not really revealing any spoilers.
Yeah.
But this is exactly what TV Guide said. One of the deaths is so sudden and unexpected, it caught us completely off guard. The other rocks an already reeling James Gordon to the core and will serve as a motivating force for him all season long. I'm saying right now, he's not married.
Oh.
He's dating Leslie Tompkins, who is the medical examiner, and also
is that the mother of Barbara?
No, but that's a big name in Batman mythos.
Tompkins.
Yes, Leslie Tompkins helped take care of him the night his parents got killed, and she runs a clinic on Suicide Row. So he goes back to her, and she knows he's Batman. She patches him up when he needs something more than Alfred can do.
Yeah.
So if they kill her off, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, right.
But that would explain why it would affect him that much. If I'm telling you right now, if they kill off Harvey Bullock, there's going to be people that are pissed off because Donnell Logue, who plays his partner, and is also, Harvey Bullock is a huge name in Batman comics too.
Oh yeah, well in the animated series,
exactly.
Bullock was always he's like sort of.
So if they kill him off, I'm gonna be really mad because he's an awesome character on the show. Because he's not dirty, but he kind of is, but he wants to be good. He just has really no reason to in Gotham.
Right.
Because everybody else is dirty, so why not?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why would you do that?
But Gordon's making him kind of pull to the good side.
He's like Farva from Super Troopers, but not as dumb.
Yeah, and the chemistry between the two of them is really, really great.
Cool.
So if they kill him off, I'd be really mad, and I think I'd be shocked too because, you can't not see that they're good for the show. So it'll be interesting to see who bites the dust.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Both Casper Crump, who will play Vandal Savage in Legends of Tomorrow, and Falk Hanschel, I probably butchered that name, but it's pretty close.
Good. Yep.
Who will play Hawkman on all? And we might as well not say in Legends of Tomorrow because they're doing all 3 in the Flaro universe.
Yeah, should we call Legends of Flaro?
Legends of Flaro. There,
yeah.
Now you're talking right there. We need to get that trademarked right now. They've been tweeting pictures of their preparations for the roles.
Cool.
Crazy workouts.
Oh, they got to be buff.
Yeah,
the Hawk people are
they gotta,
massive.
Yeah, they got to be ripped. And they're doing archery practice and
why? They shoot arrows.
Yeah,
it's the maces, right? That the Hawk people
Yeah,
use, right?
but I'm sure at some point they're going to be, especially if they're interacting with Arrow. And I mean, Vandal Savage has been around. He probably invented the bow. So,
all right, so he's got all that skills. Okay,
yeah.
so it's most likely
And-
the Vandal Savage character.
And specifically, Casper Crump has been tweeting pictures of trade paperbacks that were sent to him by DC Comics
Nice.
for him to read for research on his character.
Again, we need to get into these kind of roles, Timmy. We need to get our headshots and get
Send
out
me
there.
free comics.
Yeah, right. I'll play Ultra Humanite.
Yeah, I can do that.
I can do that. Fandy Circus can do Gollum. I can do Ultra Humanite.
Yeah, there you go. And just like we were talking about a little bit ago, I had this written down. Kate Mara, who played
Yeah.
Sue Storm in Fantastic Four, still hasn't seen it yet, but is basically making jokes constantly about how bad it was. But I mean,
That's a good thing to do.
if your director though is talking crap about it the day it comes out,
That's not good.
yeah,
At least she's humorous about it. I
Yeah.
think then it'll make it fun. It'll make it seem like they're not so upset.
yeah. And his was, I mean, when the day it came out, he was like, "Oh, I had a good version of it like a year ago, but he's basically saying that the studio and the editors changed everything." And
We know from doing critique in design class, that's the worst thing you can do is to just tell people that they should feel bad and hate your work before you even show
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah.
Yes, not
let it
good.
let it come around
Yeah.
and yeah.
if they hate it, then start talking.
Yeah, right.
Then
you
start
be
making
like,
excuses.
Okay, yeah.
But apparently, Fantastic Four is,
Coming out
Fantastic
with it.
Four 2 is still, which that would be Fantastic 6.
Yeah, I guess so.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it's still greenlit, and they're trying to figure out a way that they can make it work.
Oh man.
I don't know.
There'll have to be a Star Wars crossover for it to work.
Yeah, basically. Sony is apparently shopping around pitches for a sequel to the new RoboCop.
Would you buy that for $1?
I probably would.
Yeah.
It was not bad. It was.
I enjoyed it. I
yeah.
watched it on your recommendation, and I
Yeah.
thought it was a solid movie. I mean,
I
it's a-
still enjoy the first one a
Of
little
course.
better.
Yeah.
But it has a layer of nostalgia that's going to always put it above anything else.
the first one kind of got into it fast.
Yeah.
This one was more reflective and psychological.
Yeah.
And what I loved is that actor who played him
Mhm.
was on the TV show The Killing, which I loved. That AMC show
Yeah.
about the murder in Seattle. Sort of felt like Twin Peaks a little bit.
Okay.
It's sort of someone dies, a young girl dies immediately,
Yeah.
and then cops are trying to figure it out. I thought he was fantastic, and the
Yeah.
whole like I don't want to go home and scare my kid
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
You never had that in the first one.
No.
You know, it was like,
He
and then they were
went-
used to it in
He
10
went
minutes.
to go. Yeah, he went to go find them, and at least they had been told in the new one. They had been told he's still alive,
Right.
whereas in the first one they were told he's dead. They had sold the house and moved, and
Carried
yeah,
on.
Yeah, so
right?
he had to go find them. So yeah, I mean, you had a little more connection, and of course now the effects are so much better. The scene
Yeah.
of what's left of him.
Oh my god.
It's basically a face and a lung, and that's about it.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the end obviously is setting up a sequel because he got into the classic armor,
Right.
the silver armor with the actually had a badge on the chest, which
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I like when they made him black. I mean, that was.
It was pretty.
But he
I
looked
mean,
like militaristic.
yeah, and it makes sense, tactically.
to
to
be in
black
camouflage.
Would be, yeah, black would be better. But so yeah. If they make a sequel, I think right now they're just looking for pitches. They don't have anything planned. They're just looking for somebody to go, okay, hey, here's what we would do
Well, there was a RoboCop 2, wasn't there?
on the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and then with lessening degrees of coolness. I mean,
Yeah.
2 was okay, but not
I
as
remember
good
the
as the
premise
original.
of it. Yeah.
They added a whole bunch of other prime directives
okay.
to where it watered everything down. And like one of them was you shouldn't smoke because it's bad for you. And like he ended up shooting.
cigarettes.
No, somebody had lit up and he took out his gun and shot bullets all around, like left the image of the guy on the wall. And the guy, freaked out and dropped his cigarette and he goes, "Thank you for not smoking," and like put his gun back in the holster.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
I love it.
and
Yeah.
then 3, they did 3,
That's right. Yeah.
but Peter Weller didn't do that one.
Who
So
was
he
the
was like,
RoboCop?
I don't remember who it was.
Oh God.
But yeah, Peter Weller went, nah, I'm good.
I'm going to host
got
architecture documentations on the History
Yeah,
Channel
I got
from
other
now
stuff
on.
to do. I can. Yeah.
Do you know that he is like a licensed architect and like
Oh, is he?
archaeological
Wow.
historian about ancient architecture?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he had a show. He was on not like World of Empires or like something Empires on. But he would go and describe the arch and tell you why it worked. And
Wow.
And he's a PhD architect.
Man, that's
not
cool.
Not just RoboCop.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah, I was
That's
shocked.
cool.
Right? Because he says thank you for your cooperation at the end of the show.
That is awesome.
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Now I don't want to watch it.
Thank you for your intellectual curiosity. is
There
what he
you go.
says.
It's rumored, but I think this has pretty much been confirmed. The trailer for X-Men Apocalypse will be attached to The Martian.
Have you seen the new pictures of the Apocalypse that they sort of
Yeah,
worked up, and he's a
some
lot better
ones.
looking now?
Some better ones, yeah, because the first one looked like a Power Rangers villain.
That's
looked
new.
bad.
I was gonna say one of the OEO guys from Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah,
Who like the guards? Right?
Yeah, but
Who's
it-
like
yeah.
she's dead. The witch is dead.
you killed her. Yeah, but that first picture looked really bad. So I'm glad that they worked out some new ones and made him look like he should. I mean, because Apocalypse is a bad dude.
Yeah, he
So-
was always cool looking.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. And I know I'm going to see The Martian. So it comes out the 2nd, October 2nd. Yeah,
we gotta get that on the calendar.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm going to see that.
Nice.
And the director of the upcoming Blade Runner sequel, Denis Villeneuve, says that he has a deep fear about directing the new movie
Why?
because it's such a classic.
Oh,
And actually, watching the original was what got him interested in movie making. So he knows that, like, okay, this is hallowed ground that I'm walking on.
yeah, right.
So, but I mean, Ridley Scott is there, and so he feels like, if anybody could help me do this,
Ridley Scott. It's gonna be
exactly,
great.
yeah. So Ridley Scott's producing. So.
And I hope that like what was a breath of fresh air was Cap 2 Winter Soldier, where they treated it much more like a fighting movie
Yeah.
than a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Which was, for me, it's just refreshing,
Mhm.
for lack of a better word. So I wonder, Blade's always been about that. It's super fight scenes.
No, this is Blade Runner.
Oh, Blade Runner.
Yes.
Damn, I'm in
Yeah.
the wrong world
Yeah,
here.
not Blade.
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Oh, man.
And Harrison Ford and Ridley Scott are coming back for the sequel.
Wow.
So-
will Sean, what's her name?
I don't know, didn't she? She died in the.
Did she die?
She was a replicant.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Sean Young was it?
Sean Young,
Yeah.
Young. And then Rutger Hauer, right, was the...
Yeah, like Tears in the Rain.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Love that movie.
Here I am thinking about Blade.
You're thinking
and-
Blade,
I'm
the
in
vampire
wrong
hunter.
world. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, a cyber noir. I
Yeah.
mean, you got me there.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Neuromancer. I mean, that whole
Mhm.
Gibson cyberpunk world. I mean, Akira, even like that.
Yeah, all came from Neuromancer.
And there was a game that Sierra Online put out in the 80s. Oh, man, I can't remember the name of it. Something Dragon. All right, I'll get back to you. But it was a complete sort of replica of Blade Runner where you're in this future world.
Yeah,
Really, really cool to explore that.
there was one. Dungeons and Dragons did an offshoot that, like a cyberpunk offshoot. It was called Shadowrun.
Oh, I got to see this.
And so you had, like cybernetic implants and all this stuff, but you had orcs and elves and yep, that's it right there.
Whoa, yeah.
There was a
they made
Sega
games.
Genesis game
Yeah.
that I still play on the emulator just because it's really, really cool. And
Wow.
there it is. I can almost hear the music that plays in that little bar, because it has certain music that plays when you go into a certain bar. Is that a new? Oh, that's new.
Oh, there's a Windows version
Oh,
of it.
okay. I got
dungeon crawler style. Xbox 360 it came out, so it's a few years old.
I got to do some investigating if there's a new version of it.
Look on
'cause-
Steam. Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, it has great like cyberspace. You have to go and
like hack stuff.
hack systems and everything, and it
cool.
has like great visualizations of cyberspace and systems that you come up to the CPU and it looks a certain way and you have to attack it, and you're basically it's a you're like basically throwing viruses at it and programs, but it makes it into a visual thing of like you're throwing a shuriken or something like that.
But it's a really
Yeah.
that's cool.
So and if you bust into the CPU, you own that system. You can go
Awesome.
and you get jobs to where you go and I want you to go and upload this file to this system to make my
Wow, it's on Steam, Tim.
nice.
Yeah, there's two.
Guess
There's
what I'm gonna be
Shadowrun,
having tonight?
Dragonfall, Director's Cut.
Yeah,
Wow, it's even for Mac too.
that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight.
No, you don't have a Mac.
Well, no, I don't have a Mac. But,
And then there's Shadowrun Hong Kong
awesome.
edition. So, yep.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, I'm gonna be checking
No
that out.
church for you this weekend.
Exactly. Yeah, but the
Awesome.
you had jobs that they would give you, and you had to like this one would be, okay, I want you to go and my client wants a raise, so I need you to go and upload this file into the processor that gives him a big raise.
Yes.
And you break into the system to upload that file, but while you're there, you go looking for other files that you can sell. So you download files, and then as soon as you get done, you go to a data merchant, and you go and
It's
go,
like
hey,
it's like
I've
a
got
commodity.
I've got this, and I'll give you $2,000 for that. So
Man, that sounds awesome.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Because there's really, I mean, Tron was the only sort of thing that attempted to sort of do computer functions in an acted out way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
One quick thing to mention, just while I'm here on Steam, from until September 21st, Warner Brothers, anything they've published, 75% off titles.
Wow, that's a
including
lot.
the Batmans.
Holy crap.
And Shadow of Mordor, which I recommended last year as what I thought was game of the year,
Mm-hmm.
was $60, is now $19.
Wow.
You have Mad Max games, Mortal Kombat X, Lego Worlds, Lego Jurassic Park, Shadow of Mordor, which I just bought, Batman Arkham Origins, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum.
So how much is Arkham Knight now?
Well, Arkham Knight is not
It's
out.
not included in the...
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's not on
because-
Steam yet.
No, it was, but they took it down.
They took it down. That's right, because
'Cause
they
it
had
had
big
performance.
issues. Yeah, yeah.
But Injustice is on this list.
Cool.
The God Among Us, the DC fighting game, which is super cool. All the Lego Batman games, Lego Hobbit.
That's cool.
Dang, yeah, there's a whole bunch on here. Wow. All right, well, if you get a chance, folks, get onto Steam because there's like a ton of games on sale, 75% off.
That's a lot. That's a big sale. So.
Yeah, just because of Shadowrunner, we're
That's right. Yeah.
we're saving money.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tim.
And one last thing in our movie and TV news before we go to break here.
Yep.
Baron Zemo has been confirmed. He will be the big bad in Captain America Civil War.
Great.
So everybody's
Makes sense.
been concentrating on it's going to be Iron Man versus Captain America. There is actually going to be a villain in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's not just going to be the two of them fighting it out.
He was
So
the
Baron Zemo was the purple skin guy. Well, not purple skin, but he had like some kind of like a hood.
Right, with the
that
little
was all-
crown,
with the- yeah,
and like
yep.
the little mink collar. Yeah, he's an old school guy.
Yeah.
The what's it called though? He was in the Civil War comic. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've read it.
Yeah, he's definitely in
I
it.
need to reread Civil War.
Because I remember saying like, "Wow, what an
Yeah.
old school guy," sort of in the in Civil War.
Yeah, I need to read it and reread it and see what his role was in, because I know somebody, I don't remember who puts the hit out on Captain America. Maybe that's him.
It could be. Yeah, I'm not recalling the story as well as I should. But it's that the guy who was like in Inglourious Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in this new movie, The Woman in Gold, about the Nazis when they stole the painting of Adil Bloch-Bauer, the Klimt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good because he's got the German accent, so he'll be able to make Zemo
That's
feel
cool, yeah.
real, real
Better
Cold War.
Zemo.
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right. Well, that's a look at our movie and TV news, and we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to take a spin of the comic rack.
Yeah.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
Just now, another kid dropped out of school. There's one every 20 seconds. Over 200 kids an hour. That adds up to nearly 5,000 kids every school day. If we do nothing, 3.5 million kids won't receive a diploma over the next 4 years. But there is someone who can change that. And that someone is you. United Way knows that kids who have a caring adult in their life are more likely to make it. So make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because the path to success or failure starts long before graduation day. And the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Take the pledge to volunteer now at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Tom Lyle. I'm the artist of such comics as Spider-Man, Batman, Robin, and this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Once again, my name is Tim Dixon with Mike Worth here. And coming up tomorrow, we'd like to tell you we're going to be at, or actually not we, I will be at CatsyCon in Morganton, North Carolina. If you go to Facebook, I believe we have a link on our page to the CatsyCon page. It's going to be in right in downtown Morganton. There's going to be a bunch of cosplayers there. There's a bunch of artists that are going to be there. I think this is the first time they're doing a con right there in Morganton. There's a lot of people that are really excited because it's the first time to have something like that in Morganton.
Yeah, you have to travel to Charlotte or other places.
So there's a lot of people excited. We're going to have a lot of fun. Our friend Marcus from the 501st, he will be going with me up there to Morganton. So nice. I think he's going to take his uniform, so he might bust out the stormtrooper helmet and throw head around. I
know he brings his crewman uniform off.
Yeah,
so you can enjoy the event.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to look through the helmet visor.
Yeah. So he doesn't stab somebody.
Yeah, that could be a little problematic, but yeah. So we'll be up there tomorrow. I think it starts at 9, and I believe it's going all day. It's like they're going to have like a film festival that night.
What?
That starts at like 10.
Wow.
So I don't know if I'm there for that, but we'll be there majority of the day. Just come looking for the Kapow comic art table / Ninja Troll table.
Yeah, right.
We'll be out there. We'll have stickers and little flyers and cards and all kind of little stuff that you can take with Nico, our Ninja Troll, plastered all over it. So come by and see if you're going to be at CatsyCon tomorrow. So, all right, now let's take a spin of the comic rack.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics. Right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, to start out the comic rack, we're going to take a look at some local events, specifically things that are going on at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find here in Charlotte that are coming up in the next couple weeks. Mike, You got that list?
I do, yeah. Just looking at the events, the calendar page on the heroesonline.com. It looks like the hometown favorite here in Charlotte, Spider-Gwen #1, is going to be having a release party on October 17th. In addition to Paper Girls #1, there'll be Cliff Chang, Jared K. Fletcher, Jason Latour, and Rico Renzi, our hometown heroes, Robbie Rodriguez, who's the artist on Spider-Gwen, and Matt Wilson. And they're going to be there signing all day, it looks like.
Paper Girls, I don't know. Paper Girls, is that?
Yeah,
I don't know that title.
I wasn't sure of it either. But they've been doing these combo events.
Okay, yeah, because you had the one you went to this week. Sorry, was.
Yeah, this is Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang. This is an Image release. It's a story of 4 12-year-old newspaper delivery girls who kick butt.
It's like Kirby's Newsboy Legion.
Yeah, exactly.
Except with girls.
The artwork looks pretty great.
Yeah, it looks cool.
That, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, this past, what was it, Wednesday?
2 days ago, yeah.
Comic Book Wednesday. I went down and I kind of cheesed hard. I'm sorry. But I saw one of my favorite artists, Alexi Zirit. He was there with Toby Cypress, who surprised me. I was like, I hadn't heard of him, but his work was top. They're on Space Riders, Omega Men, number 4, and then a comic called The White Suits. And oh man, I think I bought like 3 posters of Alexis. Yeah, it's kind of bad. But on my Instagram at Mike Worth WIRTH, you can see my my sort of happy fanboy photo with Alexis.
That's cool. That's cool.
But we're all excited for Spider-Gwen coming back out.
Yeah,
it was a hit.
Yeah, it's a huge
of a
hit.
comic
Yeah,
title.
and just the book itself, but the character as well is
Surprising,
just
folks.
crazy. Yeah.
What was the latest thing you heard? Who was the Kingpin of crime?
Yeah, they released a preview for the Spider-Gwen #1. The new series will reveal the secret history of Gwen and Peter. So that'll be interesting because when she was first introduced in Edge of Spider-Verse, it was just an established thing.
That's it.
Peter was dead instead of Gwen Stacy.
Right.
And she was Spider-Woman, was blamed for Peter's death, just like kind of as a reverse, Spider-Man was blamed for Gwen Stacy's death in our universe.
Wow.
So this is going to reveal the secret history of Gwen and Peter. Peter was the Lizard. So he was the one that came up with this formula to change himself, and it ended up hurting people.
Wow.
And so so
what
that's
a
a little
twist.
there's a little twist there. Then of course we've talked about this before. The one part that I really love is somebody who works with her father, Captain Stacy, at the NYPD, is Captain Frank Castle.
Oh my God, who would be the last person who would ever be a cop?
Yeah, so it's like a powder keg getting ready to explode.
Awesome.
He's after her, and I don't remember this being revealed in the series. Maybe it was, and I've forgotten about it.
Yeah.
But I read this in a preview. Frank Castle is chasing her, but also the kingpin of crime, Matt Murdock.
God.
So
Is he blind?
don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, wow. It just came up.
I'll have to go back and read those and see if they actually revealed that, and I somehow forgot it. I don't know why I would forget it. Because that's an awesome
a huge
twist.
detail. Yeah.
That's an awesome twist.
So maybe Battling Jack survived, and and he was able to.
You never know. Yeah. But also, and I have to look. I've got it written down somewhere else in the list here. Yes, in November's Howard the Duck #1,
Yeah.
as a backup feature, Gwenpool will make
What?
her Marvel Universe premiere.
Well, that's great. Rico's on Howard the Duck also. That's
Okay,
one of his
so
other
that
books
may-
that he works on.
Yeah,
Does that
I
make
think that
sense?
may be going a little too far
Oh.
because I don't know. I mean, it's just
Well, I did a mashup when I was at Sketch Charlotte. I did the Unbeatable Wonder Girl.
oh,
And I put Unbeatable Squirrel Girl in a Wonder Woman bustier,
that's awesome.
with the crown and everything.
That's
So
cool.
I think and this is a cool mashup. I think it might be fun.
Yeah. Well, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually came from one of the variant covers. They did mashups of different heroes, and
Yeah.
the Gwenpool one went crazy,
Oh,
and so now it's become
Real.
become a thing, and I mean it's in Howard the Duck, so it's already wacky anyway. So
cool.
But Dynamite Entertainment, this one I'm really excited about.
What?
Dynamite Entertainment will publish Seduction of the Innocent,
Awesome.
which is using the name of Frederick Wortham's
Yeah,
book in
book against
1956
comics,
that was
yeah.
against comics. And it is going to be a gritty and depraved crime fiction in the tradition of James Elroy and EC era crime and horror comics.
I just need to clap for that. That is
Exactly.
so awesome.
And the cover is an homage to the infamous cover that was used.
The head?
Yes.
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 The severed head.
Yep, the
Well, I hope
severed
it's
head.
worse. I hope it's worse.
Oh yeah, it's dark and it's like you get this. You see the guy fully. It's not in the hotel room. So yeah, but it's very good cover, and yeah, that I am very excited to read.
I'm so getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
And
cool.
So that was an awesome thing to read. And Dynamite does some, no pun intended, they do some Dynamite stuff. They've been putting out some good stuff. So
Well, Alex Ross was in that wheelhouse for a good while.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he did some Vampirella that was like epic.
the
I mean,
Shadow. Was it Dynamite that did?
that put out the Shadow.
Yeah, see,
I think so.
Shadow is one of those things that lives in the public domain because it's been
It's such
around
an
so
old
long
comic. Yeah.
that pretty much anybody can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
Nobody really owns it.
Yeah.
But there's a trade paperback that I have at home of a Shadow series that has a Alex Ross painted cover
Ooh,
that is
nice.
just
I bet it's beautiful.
phenomenal. Yeah, it's beautiful. But DC is also canceling some titles.
Yeah. What do
coming
we
up in
got?
December.
All right. Lay it on me. What do we got?
Lobo, which
all right.
not surprised with that one.
Yeah.
Nor does it bother me at all, because it bugged me anyway.
The Omega Men?
The Omega Men, which I feel like they didn't really give that a chance.
Well, Alexis and Toby, I think, worked on that book together.
Yeah, it feels like they didn't really give that one a chance.
Yeah.
I think it could have got some momentum if given a chance. Doomed, which is the play off of Doomsday. It's actually a kid who works at Star Labs, and he is cleaning out a clean room, and he's sweating inside the suit, so he breaks the seal and he breathes something in, and he starts to turn into a Doomsday-like monster.
Awesome.
So, that one's I think it's lasted like four issues. I don't think anybody's picking it up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But Justice League United is being canceled, which that's like the fourth Justice League title that's going right
bit
now.
the dust, yeah.
No, that's going right now because a third one, because they've got the Justice League and then they've got JLA.
That's right.
And this would be the third. And that was actually started. It either started as or was intended to be Justice League Canada.
What?
And then they changed it to United.
Oh, to be more of a broader type thing.
So
okay. Well, I guess Captain Canuck, you're competing with him.
There you go. And in Gotham by Midnight, that one I'm kind of disappointed about.
Yeah, were you enjoying that book?
I wasn't. I was very much enjoying that, and they had just switched artists. The first couple of issues were. It was the art style was very abstract almost.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't very a realistic, like a anatomically realistic. It was more of an impressionist look to it. But they just switched to a new artist, and it had a painted look to it that I think fit so much better to the feel of the book.
Right.
And I think I was really excited about it when I saw it, but now it's not going to last long. But I think it was supposed to be a limited series. I think it was only going to be like 12, and they have just pulled the plug on it. So I think they've got to. I think they're around 8 or something like that. But that was Gotham by Midnight followed what they called the Midnight Squad at Gotham City Police Department, and one that covered the supernatural stuff. One of the lead detective was Jim Corrigan, who is the Spectre. So basically, he had to
make sense.
He had to solve issues before the big guy came out.
Yeah,
like if the
to
Spectre
fix everything.
Yeah, the Spectre. Yeah, to like cleanse the earth, basically. So you always had like that clock ticking. To that, okay, you got to fix these things, or else the big guns are coming out and
rewriting the universe.
Yeah, and people get hurt badly when he comes out. So, but Green Lantern: The Lost Army is also being canceled. Batmite and Bizarro, I am not shocked by those at all.
Yeah, I looked
that's
at Bizarro.
Such
and it was kind of silly.
Yeah, it's very silly. And Batmite, of course, also. Yeah. They're just not characters that can carry a book.
Why
themselves.
Bizarro? I never.
They wanted to introduce a little more comedy.
Yeah, and he's dumb, right? He's like he has freeze vision and heat breath.
Yes,
right.
Yes, and he's very dumb, and he had kind of like a kid who was taking him around the country, and it was just. Like I said, that's something you put as a backup feature in adventure comics, but not.
Yeah, a sub story. Yeah, but
not a it can't carry its own book. It's just not gonna happen.
But like Harley Quinn and Power Girl is crushing. That's a great series.
Yeah,
it's not in the top 5, but it's
not much of DC is.
No. Dang.
So, but also I know you're gonna be sad about this. Batman 66 is being canceled.
That's all right. It's starting to run out of its sting. I got to say,
it's been going for a while though, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, it's been volumed. I just picked up the here we go, 26.
Oh yeah.
It's the one with Poison Ivy.
Nice.
So I love that they were able to take villains that they couldn't do on the TV show
Yeah.
and then do them.
And do that, yeah.
Like Harley
Yes.
Quinn. There was a Harley Quinn
Oh, was there?
one. and
Okay, cool.
She's wearing 4-wheeled roller skates. Like,
Nice.
yeah. And they drew her in a more 60s Silver Age style.
Yeah.
So she's like not so like, stickly thin and
Yeah.
and overly voluptuous. She looks like a real person.
Yeah.
A real woman. So
That's cool. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Well, anyway, Sandy
Yeah.
Jarrell, one of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
He was on the early books. He's not on this latest one.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm a little sad about that.
But there are also sensational comics featuring Wonder Woman, which those two were both digital first.
And then went to print.
And yeah, they come out in like a couple weeks later. They come out
In
physical
print copy.
Yeah, physical books.
I'm not sad about that either. The artwork on some of those covers were cool, but I'll tell you what's a really good comic is the 77 with Linda Carter.
Yeah,
And they're supposed to come out with issue 2 of
Okay.
that really soon.
cool.
So, all right, I'm not so sad. Good.
Yeah, but those are being canceled. But DC has announced a new second series for Harley Quinn.
Ah,
She's hot now, so why not?
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be. It's called Harley's Little Black Book, and it's going to be a new bi-monthly team-up book. Issue 1, Wonder Woman.
Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman.
She's going to be
team
teaming up with Wonder Woman.
up? All right.
So
Yeah.
why not? Go for it. Like I said, she's still hot right now, so yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Hit while the iron's hot. So
She's the most cosplayed I think,
yeah.
female character
Female
that
character,
I've
yeah,
seen.
easily, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's always the running joke at a cosplay convention or
Harley,
any kind of convention.
Deadpool.
Harley and Deadpool. Yep. And you'd be better off now with Deadpool especially to just count the variations.
Yeah.
Because there's all kind of different variations on it.
Right,
And now
right,
we'll
right.
have Spider Pool or what Gwenpool.
Gwenpool.
Is what they call it. So. But DC also has a new series called Superman, Lois and Clark that starts in October that will feature the pre-Flashpoint Superman with his wife Lois Lane and their son Jonathan Kent. This comes right out of Convergence because the dome was down. He was essentially human, so he was able to have a baby with Lois Lane.
Nice.
And so they have a son. So now he's super powered again. So okay, what's with the kid? Is the kid going to have superpowers? Is he? So I'm actually interested in
or journalistic powers.
that one. He could. But between the two of them, you'd think.
He'll cite all his sources.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. And the kid is going to be like 6 years old, I think.
To start the series off.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. So he's going to be obviously being grown up a little bit. So
Wow.
so this is coming out of. We were wondering what we were going to have coming out of Convergence because
Now we're
kind of
seeing
all things are open now.
everything is open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is specifically pre-Flashpoint Superman, so where they're Lois and Clark are still married, and now they have a kid. So having a, for lack of a better term, Superboy running around. So that series could be very, very interesting. So
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I mean, because they're trying to now use the old new for all the Earths, like because we have them again.
yeah,
So yeah, I wonder on which Earth that would be.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. What it would be, what it's going to be called,
Yeah.
or if they'll even reference it. Because, I mean, obviously now some of the series are operating in different universes, but they're not really specifically saying because in the Batman books and Superman Batman title, it's Jim Gordon in the bat suit.
Right.
And
now Batman
the
is-
Robo Bat suit.
Has been.
Yeah, his brain's been scrambled essentially.
and he's
That
a
got
janitor or
revealed in
something.
the last one that I read.
Are you
Because
caught up?
I'm still trying to catch up. I've got the new one that just came out, 44.
Okay.
I haven't read it yet. But in 43, Clark Kent comes to town to talk to Alfred. Like, okay, what's up with Bruce? Where's he at? What's going on here? And Alfred explains to him that when the Joker and he were fighting,
That chemical.
the
right?
chemical that Joker has been using to prolong his life, because they found out the Joker had been around for a long time.
Yeah, he's immortal.
Basically,
Essentially.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he was using some kind of chemical that keep him alive. And when the bat cave collapsed on both of them, it fractured Bruce's skull. So he was dead, but then that chemical seeped into, because his skull was fractured, it seeped in and it healed his brain. But when it healed his brain, it basically rebuilt it. So
no memory,
he's
no
not,
fighting.
yeah, he's not the Bruce Wayne anymore.
Wow.
He's not that guy anymore.
It's something's gonna unlock.
Something's gonna, something's gonna
come
unlock,
back
and he's gonna be like Jason Bourne. He's gonna just have these automatic fighting skills or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is what.
Maybe he'll use the
going on
suit
there.
for a while. Maybe he'll to sort of transition him into being a person again.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Could
could
be,
be interesting.
Yeah, but
I know you love that bunny suit.
Oh God, I hate
That's going to be your Halloween
it. I
costume.
hate it so bad.
Robo Bunny.
But Jim did, because it's all operating as a part of the JCPD.
GC.
What I say?
JC?
Okay, no, it's not. It's GCPD.
Right, Gotham?
Yes. And with the Powers Corporation, which I'm not sure where that corporation came from, they made mention that it absorbed Wayne Tech.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure exactly what is going on there.
Everything and then some.
But the suit itself is always monitored, and that's Jim Gordon went to talk to Bruce Wayne because he's working at a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And he went to talk to him, because the Batman Incorporated, Bruce Wayne came out and said, we are funding this organization, Batman Incorporated, where all these people are like the Batman of Africa was Batwing, and he was funded by Bruce Wayne, and he had the same tech and all that stuff. That whole plan was they were wanting to have like a Batman in each country and all these different versions of it.
I was just imagining
it's
that, like,
horrible. It's not, Batman is not McDonald's.
Right. I'm imagining if you're the Batman in like China, right, and you're like about to fight crime, and then like something comes over your heads up display that says "New Bat Tech download coming. Please find safe location during download."
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you're just sitting there like you got Windows. You're like,
Come
damn.
on, man.
Yeah.
That didn't.
I don't need new printer drivers. I just need to kick somebody's butt.
Yeah, that didn't work well. So, but Jim Gordon went to Bruce and said, I know you're not Batman, but if anybody would be able to help me, 'cause Batman needs to be autonomous.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be part of the police. It doesn't need to be part of a corporation, especially.
Right.
I need to be able to do stuff without them watching me.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce basically says, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy anymore. And then at the same time, going on concurrently in the book, Clark is talking to Alfred, and Alfred is telling Clark the same thing.
Right, like you don't really want to try and do that.
Yeah,
It'll mess
he
him
doesn't
up.
know. Yeah, he doesn't know. It's not. He's not Batman anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that's going to come back around again.
Well, John Stewart could change his memory. I mean, like there are lots of.
You can make a big old fist and just punch him in it, like
Yeah.
Or a coconut. That always worked on Gilligan's Island. You hit him in the head with a coconut, and their memory comes back.
Yeah. But it's got to be the right tree.
It's true.
Yeah.
But the Marvel has released a preview of Avengers #0 that comes out on October 7th.
Oh, cool.
It will feature new stories that lead into 6 new ongoing series. All new, all different Avengers, Squadron Supreme, A-Force, New Avengers, Ultimates, and Uncanny Avengers.
Oh God. They've X'd the or X World did Avengers.
Yes.
I mean, when we had all those X spin-offs,
Yeah.
I think X
Same
Factor
thing.
was
Yeah,
the
everything
first
is-
one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's all these different versions of it, but the thing thing that attaches them all together in Zero, there's a shadowy figure that's watching the Avenger, watching all of them and the people around them. So is it a friend or a foe? So that's going to lead into their books.
Yeah.
So it's probably one unifying
Big bad.
Yeah, big bad.
Or big good.
Or good,
Depending.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
we'll see.
I don't know.
Yep.
But Image has released the cover for The Walking Dead #149, and it features Negan and Rick apparently in an alliance.
Oh damn.
So that's just nuts.
How'd they get there?
Yeah, and the solicitation just says the devil on your shoulder, because Rick's sitting in a chair and Negan's got his hand on his shoulder. So I mean,
Almost like he's a lieutenant of
Yeah.
Negan type. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he must have him.
and well, Negan has been because Rick says that they need to be civilized people now. Negan wasn't just executed. He is kept there in the jail.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's been.
Did he pull a statute of limitations clause out somewhere?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, but he says that they're in a community now and they need to be civilized people. So he's not going to execute.
Blow him away in the woods.
Yeah. But then Negan is like one of those guys. Like he's the master of screwing with your head. So he's always screwing with it. Like Rick comes down there to talk to him, and he's messing with his head the whole time. And like these people were trying to basically seed dissent inside Alexandria, so they let Negan out. And Rick realized that the cell door had been left open, and he runs down there, and Negan's sitting there with his feet up, still inside the cell. So he's just screwing with his head, going, "Hey, you thought I'd be out doing something." So he's like trying to convince him, "I'm not a problem here." So I think it's going to come back and just go nuts.
I can't wait to bite into this character a little bit.
Oh, dude,
I know he's all over the comics, and I haven't yet gone into those. So
yeah, he's awesome, and I enjoy a good villain, and he is right up there, and he makes the governor look like your grandma.
Wow.
I mean, he's hardcore.
Wow.
And my
grandma used to have an eye patch, so that's interesting that you made that point. Yeah.
But the big thing is, bringing him to TV. He's like, literally in the comic, almost every other word he says is the F word.
Awesome.
So how are you going to do that on TV?
Like Scarface.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
Nice.
Constantine the Hellblazer number 4 is out. It was actually out 2 days ago, and the solicitation says in this issue some very, very, very bad news sends John Constantine on a magical bender through the darkened streets of London. This one's gonna hurt in the morning.
Damn.
I'm interested in what is the very, very, very bad news.
Right. And what exactly is a magical bender?
Yeah. True. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I've gotten more into Constantine.
You caught the show a little bit, right?
I caught the first episode of the show.
And who are they weaving him into?
Arrow. Yeah, I think he's going to be. He's going to help Sarah after she comes back from the dead.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. He helps people with magical bends like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I saw Thea's resurrection.
Okay.
So I got now what you meant. Like she kind of came out.
Yeah, buck wild, just
cutting people down.
Yeah.
And man, I had no idea like what now Oliver has to go through to be the heir, the demon head.
Yeah.
Which apparently he's going to get out of. I know, but I'm dying to see how. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
So that's your warning.
You're not there yet. So.
No.
But Mr. Sinister will be the first major bad guy for the new flagship team in the new Extraordinary X-Men, which is Storm, Jean Grey, Old Man Logan, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Iceman, and Magic. I don't know Magic. I don't know that. All the rest of them.
Magic was I think a New Mutant.
Okay.
From the 80s, and is a magician essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That one. It was the only name that I didn't really know.
Yeah.
But Mary Jane Watson has been announced as a cast member of the new Invincible Iron Man comic book from Brian Michael Bendis.
Nice.
So that to me is like, okay, is she with Tony? Is she the new Pepper? As in part of the company? Or I mean, what's the deal there?
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
And Marvel has also announced a new series with Rocket Raccoon and Groot in December. But they had just started up a series for themselves. Like there was a Rocket Raccoon and then there was a Groot. Have they already canceled those?
Well, maybe they were mini runs.
Yeah,
like
maybe, or maybe they're just combining the two of them together, and that's going to be the new book.
That might be a good team up. I mean,
of course, it makes sense.
Established them early on.
Yeah, and again, the two of them together could hold a book with no problem. But I
Absolutely.
think individually, you might be a harder sell.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I haven't read those, but I wonder if they've done crossovers where they've just sort of backed each other up.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably would have to. But
They're such the like Han Solo, Chewbacca.
oh yeah,
group.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't have one without the other.
Right.
But the sales numbers for August are in, and the before we get into like the individual title, the one thing I found really interesting, Batman: The Killing Joke is number 2 on the graphic novels list.
Get out.
Still,
The original Killing Joke.
this is like this is a special edition hardcover, but it's still that book is still number 2
Wow.
on the graphic novel list.
That special
That's
edition man,
crazy.
is so beautiful.
Oh yeah,
That way they repainted
they
up.
they redid the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which everything's so phenomenal. It's a digital color versus whatever was the
And it's,
previous.
that's been out for a while because I've had it for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is like a new printout of it, but it just amazes me the Killing Joke, this far out of when it was published originally, is still in the top. Is number 2 in graphic novels.
I mean, it's one of the best Batman
Oh, yeah.
stories. I mean,
crazy.
More than Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
Well, because
Yeah.
they never made Killing Joke 2, Killing Joke 3.
yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah,
all that. Yeah.
yeah. But the as far as the individual books, Marvel again, of course, is killing everything. They've got seven out of the top 10 are Marvel.
Damn.
Yeah.
What are they roughly?
Secret Wars number 5 is number 1.
yeah.
Then Star Wars number 8 is number 2. Then Darth Vader number 8 is 4.
Yikes.
Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows number 3 and 4,
Wow.
which is a really good story.
Yeah.
Yes, it's part of the Secret Wars. It's a really good story.
Cool.
They are Renew Your Vows 3 and 4 are 5 and 6 on the list, and then Civil War number 2 is 9, and Star Wars Lando number 2 is number
Oh.
10.
Interesting.
The
Why Shattered Empire isn't up there?
yeah,
That's
well,
great.
no, it was right at the end of the month.
Okay. So it wouldn't be in these numbers.
It wouldn't be in these numbers. It'll end up in. It was released.
Yeah, forget.
Yes, September. So yeah, it'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Soon.
this is August numbers.
Okay.
So, but the non-Marvel number 3 is Batman number 43. Justice League number 43 is number 8,
Yeah.
and Image comes in at number 7 with The Walking Dead number 145. So
That's huge for Image. Horrible for DC.
that's usual. Walking Dead's usually in the top 10.
yeah.
But wrap your head around this. Lando Calrissian sold more comics than anything with Superman in it,
Yeah.
anything with Green Lantern in it, any Avengers title, any X-Men title. That is crazy. It's nuts.
It's Billy D, baby.
It's true. Yeah.
Colt 45.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
I mean,
Billy D. Williams is that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Superman has been a bunch of people, a bunch of things.
yeah, but Billy D's Lando. That's
There's
it.
only been one Lando, and
There's
it's
only-
Billy D.
Yep.
And that's it. And that's all.
Yeah.
That's the magic of Billy D.
Yep. It amazes me to look and then look at that list. It's pretty. I mean, granted, a lot of what is pushing Marvel right now is the Secret Wars,
Yeah.
and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because if you look at say 1, 2, 3 of their top 10 is all Star Wars products.
And there's what, 5 or 6 Star Wars
Yeah.
titles out right
There's
now? Princess Leia.
There's Princess Leia. There's the Lando.
Yep.
There's the regular Star Wars, the
Right.
Darth Vader, and then
Shattered Empire.
Shattered Empire. And there's something else.
There's going to be a C-3PO one shot.
Yeah, but it's not out until November.
Is there a Han Solo or Chewbacca?
No, there's gonna be a Chewbacca,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's out yet.
I think that's it
Yeah.
for Star Wars.
So yeah, and it's still selling really good, and I mean, everything looks good. I'm really enjoying the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Because
you said that.
It's kind of a refreshing thing because it's from his point of view,
Nice.
and he's been raked over the coals because of the Death Star
Yeah.
being destroyed.
Battle of Yavin.
Yavin. Yeah.
Yavin.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he's also realizing that the Emperor has lied to him. And several times,
Well, yeah.
and is seemingly training his replacement.
Oh.
So, but I mean, that's the thing. Palpatine always has, layers upon layers.
Yeah.
I mean, just like when he was, he had Darth Maul, but he was also grooming Count Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, one apprentice bites the dust, the other one steps right up.
You got backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
So, but that's a look at the sales figures for August. And that's going to do it for the Comic Rack. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to explore the multiverse into limbo.
Yes.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide-and-go-seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
This is Richard Cumley, creator of Captain Canuck. You are listening to Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Yes, that was Richard Cumley, the creator of Captain Canuck, who we were sitting next to at Heroes Con this past year. Was a great guy. He was there for Friday and Saturday, so it was a lot of fun to talk to and talk with about comics. I was actually talking to him about why he came up with Captain Canuck in the first place, and he said there was no real Canadian heroes. And I said, well,
what about
now
Vanguard.
Vanguard. Well, yeah, well, he came up with Captain
like
Canuck
Captain Canuck
in the 60s. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, he's old, and then he's back out now.
Yeah,
right?
and so I said, well, how does it make you feel now to see that you've got Alpha Flight and Wolverine and all these Canadian heroes? And he goes, made by American creators and an American company, released by an American company, and he said, so there's still not like the one real Canadian is the way he looks at it is Captain Canuck.
Sasquatch.
So, Sasquatch, of course. Yeah. The Wendigo.
Wendigo. Yeah, there you go. Oh man,
that was the real villain in the in Incredible
Spider-Man,
Hulk 181.
Right? Oh,
that was who he was fighting was Wendigo,
That's
and Wolverine
right.
just came in.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, but all right, it's now time to head for the misty borderlands and explore the multiverse.
Now it's time to explore the multiverse. On the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, as we were talking about earlier, we're exploring the DC multiverse, and leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. It all became started because I let Mike borrow Crisis on Infinite Earths, which he had never read before.
Yep.
And he was so confused he had to figure out what's going on.
And then I read Convergence,
which confused it even more.
It took it to 11. Yeah. So we decided to go back and give ourselves and y'all the literacy, right? So that you sort of have a little connection to DC. And we're looking now at Justice League of America Volume 1, numbers 195, 196, and 197 from October, November, and December of 1981. And we are now in the presence of the ultimate bad guy,
Ultra Humanite. I love that guy.
Which is right. We've learned as a villain, he can transplant his brain. He's a super intelligent being from body to body, and he's now genetically mutated an ape to give him a super head. So think of
enormous.
Think of like the gorilla from what was his name from Planet of the Apes, the head of the gorillas who had the big helmet.
Oh yeah. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Gord or something. But anyway, this is a story that we've actually seen before, and Gorilla Grodd has done something similar to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a very interesting character, but he has a very specific and ultra intellectual plan.
Oh, God,
to basically eradicate all of the universe of superheroes. And this first story is the targets of two worlds. He's figured out through some sort of
algebra.
science, as we say, algebra. Yeah, right. He broke out his 9th grade algebraic textbook and said, okay, my hyperbola theorem here is going to be that if I find these specific 10 heroes who he's identified as sort of being seed characters, and we put them in this limbo space, which he puts them there via a centrifuge, that basically all of the Earths will be eradicated of superheroes. And there's a twist to that, which is quite
sense whatsoever.
Interesting. Yeah,
it's the worst. I mean, he explains it, and he tries to say, just like the nucleus of an atom is perfectly in balance until you take
one of the protons out.
Yeah, take one of the protons out, but that doesn't destroy an electron. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense.
Look, Tim, this is before everybody got National Geographic at the house. Omaha Mutual natural shows and stuff. So it's 1981.
Yeah,
people are breathing in Aquanet and drinking Tag. Things can fly over, and it's not so bad.
I actually just searched for the Ultra Humanite and looked him up. He was created by Siegel and Schuster.
Get out.
1939.
He's got a look to him. Like,
he was introduced in Action Comics number 13.
Wow.
In 1939.
In that form, the gorilla form?
No, his original form was
a guy.
Was a guy, and actually they make mention of that he
went from body to body.
Went from body to body, and then he decided he got tired of his mind being better than his body.
Weaker than his, or vice versa. Yeah.
So he, like we were saying, he genetically engineered an ape and transferred into that.
Well, it made him a better fighter, I got to say.
That's true.
Yeah, that was kind of nice to see. So Ultra Humanite, they sort of pit him as the arch nemesis of Earth 2 Superman, who is the original Superman from the Golden Age.
With the salt and pepper at his temples.
That's right. Yeah, Super Richards.
Yes.
Reed Kent there. Yeah. And but in order to pull off his plan to do what he needs to do, he has to reassemble the secret society of supervillains, who have been multiple incarnations of various people. But in this book, we have a combination of villains from Earth 1 and Earth 2. We have Cheetah, Signal Man, Floronic Man, Killer Frost from Earth 1, and Monocle, Mist, Psycho Pirate, Ragdoll, and Brainwave from Earth 2, which is kind of a nice mixture of characters. And we're seeing now the writing with Psycho Pirate in a George Perez style book here, which obviously leads us to his big battery in Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is super cool. So there's 10 particular superheroes that from the JLA and the JSA that have to be taken in order to sort of destroy all human or all superheroes in these various worlds. We're looking at the Atom, Batman, Black Canary, Firestorm, Wonder Woman, Jay Garrick Flash, Connar Hall, Earth 2 or Earth 1 Hawkman, Hourman, Johnny Thunder, and then Salt and Pepper Super. Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
Is that good?
That's good. I like that.
All right. One of them is Latino because there's Cal L, like just an L, like LL Cool J, and then there's Cal L.
EL. Yes.
Yeah, who must be of Latino descent.
He's the Silver Age one.
He's Silver Age.
Yes.
Good. So they're being diverse. I appreciate that, DC. So the Injustice Society, or not the Injustice Society, this Society of Supervillains, Secret Society of Supervillains. Basically, they get into battles with these various folks, and they start to overcome the different heroes. And it's like some of this is kind of badass fighting. I mean, Killer Frost is a great character.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see how they do her on Flash.
She's an interesting character, but she kind of lacks a little motivation. I mean, so she's just pissed at guys because they don't pay her attention.
Yes, I mean I get that. Yeah, I get this is sort of a weird lead up.
Yeah,
but it's like she also plays this sort of really interesting feminist role. Like that was what I was getting, was that like she was not like even more so than than Wonder Woman. You know, the Amazonian attitude. I thought this was like boom, and she puts her, and
she holds her own.
She backs it up.
Absolutely.
She will freeze you in an ice block if you talk smack, or if you look the wrong way while she's talking. Which we learned, and then there's interesting, like the Floronic Man. He's sort of this interesting, almost sort of male Poison Ivy like character.
Yeah, except he has actually made himself into a plant.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Cheetah like rips his skin off, and
because he had some kind of
fake
fake human skin, basically.
Right on the outside.
I mean, they didn't call him.
Yeah, he had a couple names.
They called him Plant Man or something like that,
Right.
Plant Master.
Plant
I
Master.
didn't remember him until they called him Floronic Man, and I was like, oh, okay, now
That's
I
his
remember.
original name.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like Ragdoll's kind of like, what, really? But he takes out Jay Garrick. I mean, it was like kind of an interesting.
Yeah, that guy's creepy looking.
Yeah, I mean, he reminded me of the Toy Man or
Toy Man, yeah.
Toy Master.
He's like an animated Raggedy Andy.
But he drives like big robots and stuff, and has like he makes bombs that are like candy
Toy Man
that they
does
blow
that.
up.
Yeah.
Because I saw a Justice League episode that was basically this same story with the Secret Society of Supervillains,
Gorilla Grodd.
but with Gorilla Grodd, and Toyman replaced Ragdoll.
Oh, okay.
In a few instances, there was a few other characters that were normal, but Killer Frost was there.
Yeah.
As a part of it, because Firestorm came into the mix.
Yeah.
So that first issue pretty much is getting all of the Secret Society of supervillains together. We sort of get a brief connection to Ultra Humanite's plan, and then they take out Wonder Woman and Black Canary. Which is quite interesting. And we get a little note here talking that so Mist thinks that the Black Canary he's fighting is the original, and like speaks to her in a way that like, oh, I know you and blah blah blah, but it's really the daughter of the original Black Canary. So that's kind of where that's at.
That's where that was where it became weird, because Black Canary was on Earth 2 and came to Earth 1.
But then they retconned it to where the Earth 1, like Justice League Silver Age one, was the daughter of it got weird. That was a little strange.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, that's sort of what we know as the larger mythos of Black Canary, is that the daughter, the current one, would be the daughter of the old one. But then there's a new one now, so, Lord have mercy. Which takes us to JLA 196, which is the countdown to Crisis. So that's cool, right? We're seeing now the countdown. Because Countdown has always been Countdown to Final Crisis, Countdown to Infinite Crisis. So there's that phrasing is here.
Yeah.
Right? It's nice to see its origin. So here we see a battle of a Psycho Pirate taking on Our Man, and a really cool demonstration of his powers, where he like makes all these people do creepy things with his because of his face,
and which gives George Perez the opportunity to have some awesome panels.
Oh,
because he basically any emotion that he has on Psycho Pirate's face
can transmit to everybody else.
So like if he looks at you and he's smiling, you're going to be happy and you'll start giggling and but if he can also if he looks scared, then everybody freaks
afraid.
out. Yeah.
So a cool panel where he fights Our Man and then sort of finally catches him after he like because Our Man's like blocking his face and he keeps saying like, look at me. But then he overcomes him.
Used some kind of, what was that he used, like a prism or something?
Yeah, he had a little crystal.
Basically like a disco ball.
Yeah, the Psycho Prism.
Yeah.
It affects the light waves all around you, Our Man, so that no matter where you look, I'll be there. And then that's the takedown. Your face yawning. I'm so sleepy. Can't keep my eyes open.
Yeah, so just put him to sleep.
Yeah, that's the thing to do. Make him insane or something, so that way he never recovers. But now Signal Man attacks. So I guess Signal Man is a Batman villain already.
Yes.
And he creates a little beacon for Batman, and basically tricks him with this super blast thing. And we see Batman use the grappling hook to save himself, sort of in a nice, interesting way.
He kind of woke up in time to save himself.
But the way he beats Batman, which is super cool, is he gets everybody, like, so Batman gets to the ground, and then he basically convinces everybody with a mental blast to attack Batman. And because they're all innocent, Batman won't fight back.
He won't fight back, yeah.
So that was a kind of a unique way. And then Jay Garrick goes to fight the Ragdoll, and the Ragdoll just punks him. Yeah, just basically makes him fall on his face, and he just
because he says he's triple jointed, so he can
fall and take
Yeah.
blasts and concussion and all that stuff and everything. But a cool scene on page 45 there, you see, page 13 in the comic, you see Ray Palmer travel over the phone line,
Yep.
which I didn't know.
Yes, he can do that. Yeah, he travels through sound waves.
That's
he
awesome.
kind of rides them. Yeah,
That's
so he
really
like goes
cool.
through phone lines. So yeah, that he can travel that way to get. Yeah, he pops out of the phone.
Yeah,
that a
When
cop,
the cop
is
calls
using.
him.
It's like, whoa!
Right. Oh, the atom started me, little fella.
Sure.
Sorry, all cops to me have
Hey,
Irish
didn't go
accents back then. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then we see now Plant Master, aka Floronic Man, and he fights the atom. Right, that's where you sort of see those things make a connection. And then he says, no matter how small you are, you have to breathe my crazy pollen. So a good poison ivy moment. And he takes him down that way. And then Brainwave is fighting Johnny Thunder, and
Which realistically, the only thing that we need with Johnny Thunder
is
the Thunderbolt.
Is the Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
That's really it. Yeah, it was sort of easy to defeat him. But he hits the Thunderbolt with like a blast, a psychic energy blasting me. Can't hold together, breaking a bar. And that's it. Johnny Thunder's then just some dude. Actually, he's tricked into. He receives a message saying you win a free suds. Yeah. Free duds. Yeah.
Free duds.
To come down and get a new suit, and he's like, and they even comments that his fashion is still from the 50s.
Yeah, he's trapped in the 50s. Yeah.
The green plaid. And then
and he asked him if they had anything in green plaid.
just to keep it going.
Yeah.
But he went to green pinstripes.
Yes.
And essentially he overwhelms him, uses the Thunderbolt against him, and defeats him that way. It's not really a contest. And then Killer Frost and Firestorm go at it again. Crisis on Infinite Earths, because they team up. Because I forget who it is makes Killer Frost happy, and she falls in love. Like she's basically in love with Firestorm in the beginning of the comic, and they're like shooting that tuning fork together. I forget who changes her attitude. Maybe it's like Dr. Fate or something.
I don't remember it. Yeah, it might be. It's
it
been
would have
too
been
long since I
Psycho
read.
Pirate.
No, why would he do that?
No.
I don't remember. It's been too long since I read Crisis. I'll have to go back and
but she calls him like my love, and you know, oh, anything you say, we're like fire and ice, and
and he's thinking to himself like, okay, why
did I do this?
It's weird.
But you watch Flash, and they have a relationship.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. Let's see here. So Killer Frost defeats Firestorm, and then Ultra Humanite vanquishes his nemesis, the Earth 2 Superman. And basically like he fights him with like apes and stuff. And everything,
he makes apes attack him.
But then he has like a secret kryptonite gas blast. You can see that it comes out of his chest plate there. And then that neutralizes that Superman, and then he puts them all into the tubes of terror, which is the centrifuge. But look at the Kirby crackle, right there. It is perfect, right? Looking just like Limbo. That's wonderful. That last panel. So they all are sent. They're all defeated. The 10 from both worlds, and they're both sent now into that new world. And then in the next cover, the December issue 197, we see them break out. Obviously, so we know that that's going to occur. So as soon as the heroes are banished to Limbo, Ultra Humanite has planned that once he does this, that all is going to happen. But he actually I forget who it is. He says to the Earth 2 and 1 villains, "Hey, this is going to work, but I don't know which Earth it's going to happen on."
Yeah,
right.
But he says he thinks to himself the whole time.
I know it's going to be my Earth, right? I guess which is 1, I think.
2.
It's Earth 2. Okay, so the JSA will be gone. Because that's going to do something, right? Because then all the Earth 1 people will come and beat you up.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
So eliminate all superheroes from one parallel Earth, Earth 2. And when the Earth 1 villains, Killer Frost, Floronic Man, Cheetah, and Signalman learned that their allies had known all along that it would be Earth 2 whose heroes would disappear, they turn against the leader only to be banished back to Earth 1. Killer Frost takes charge of the villains, and she overcomes the Green Lantern and Elongated Man, who were not in the original 10. And then they use the JLA transmatter cube to reach Limbo to free the imprisoned heroes where they are. And in the midst of running rampant across the face of Earth 2 now, without heroes, the remaining Secret Society members are summoned to an emergency meeting, only to discover that the meeting had been called by the heroes that just sent them into limbo. Suckers.
That's right.
Each, and then they basically fight who they were fighting before, and the Justice League and Society champions defeat the villains and hurl them back into their own teleportation device, sending them into limbo with the Earth 2 villains.
Brainwave got a little creepy because everybody else were like, okay, now there's no superheroes to stop us, so we're going to steal this and we're going to steal this. Brainwave goes and gets some actress.
Yeah, right.
And just says, yeah, come with me. And like, oh, yikes.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Interesting to see without the police around, without the cats around, how will the mice play? And yeah, like that creepy part.
And that's the thing. Brainwave, that he in the book,
he doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
right?
he's drawn like this big strapping, muscular dude, but that's not him. It's an illusion.
Creepy man.
Yeah,
right?
It's an illusion that he's putting out because he doesn't like the way he actually looks. He's like a little, like a really short kind of bald guy.
Yeah,
and that because he could put out illusions into anybody's head. That's what he wants to look. So he's always like, "Hi." It's like it's
like
the
Booster.
Yeah, it's the stereotypical superhero look.
Yeah,
because that's how he wants to look. But yeah, he goes and some actress is working on a show and she takes a break and goes back to her dressing room and he goes, "I'd like to introduce myself. I'm your new lover." It's like, okay.
Well, nobody's going to stop him.
It is. He says, this is the creepiest line in the book. "Scream if you like. No one can help you." Yikes.
So, yeah, all the plan is vanquished. Limbo is restored. All the heroes come back. You can see that's a wonderful
Yeah, this is. It's. I mean, the fight scenes in this 3-issue.
Way better.
It was George Perez. I mean, that's what he does, his action. And that's, I mean, yeah, the fight scenes in here were just awesome.
And it was like, you could tell that like maybe Dick Dillon made the heroes fight in more of a boxing style.
Yeah.
While now you're seeing more of a martial arts style, I think from George Perez. It just seems to be, they just move different. And they have a whole new way of sort of doing what they do.
Although at one point I did see when Salt and Pepper Superman were he was getting ready to fight Ultrahuman. I think it was Ultrahumanite.
Yeah.
And he had like the put up your dukes, like the old school fighting Irish kind of
bare knuckle boxers.
Yeah, bare knuckle boxing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Firestorm says, 5 down, Batman. That just leaves the Ultrahumanite. And he says, "You won't take me without a struggle. I still have super knowledge too." And then Superman, Salt and Pepper Super says, "Fella, why is it? Well, bam, you never learn."
Yeah, he knocked the crap out of him.
Yeah. He just sort of went somewhere far.
Didn't that throw him into limbo?
Into limbo, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All the baddies were there in limbo.
Yeah.
In all sorts of capacities. And then everything,
Yeah. Yeah, and it shows all of them that they threw into limbo.
Right.
There at the end, and they're still arguing with each other. That was the best part.
"Trapped in limbo. This is your fault, Ultrahumanite. If you treated our allies fairly, we'll kill you. Bah, some people simply have no sense of gratitude."
Yes, I just love that they're still bitching at each other while they're trapped in limbo.
Because that's how it goes. But coming up, we're getting down to the real sort of small number amount of crises left before we're in Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is about 3 or 4 weeks away. But next up we have, which is very interesting, it's the 20th annual team-up of the Justice Society and the Justice League of America in JLA number 207 from October of 1982. And it is a Crisis on Earth Prime. So we're getting now another Earth properly.
This will be the first Earth that they've introduced in a while.
In a real long while.
Yeah. And we'll get the return of the crime syndicate.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
awesome. And it'll feature the All-Star Squadron as well.
Yeah,
which will be a nice set of heroes.
All-Star Squadron, they're not the children of the Justice Society? That was Infinity.
That would be a question for you, Tim.
No.
I would not know. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of All Star Squadron. I know they're old school.
Yeah.
Right. All Star. Wasn't there All Star Comics? Wasn't that a title?
So. Yes, that
DC
was.
title.
Yeah. See, All Star Squadron. The new team. Okay, yeah, it wasn't like any kind. It was just like kind of an offshoot of, and actually, the cover of the of All Star Squadron number 31 has Uncle Sam on there.
Ooh,
I guess at some point he was part of the
Well,
All
that
Star
makes
Squadron.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is this is the first time that I've seen a Crisis story go out of Justice League into another title. So All Star
crossover?
Squadron number 14 is where we have the second part of the story, Crisis on Earth Prime Book 2.
Nice.
The Revenge. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So I think ooh, wow, look at that. Look at that big panel there. Oh man, that looks cool.
Is that Perez as well?
Let's see. No, it's Adrian Gonzalez, Jerry Ordway.
Okay.
Yeah, on this because I guess for the crossover they went.
Yeah, they went to the All Star Squadron book.
The All Star Squadron artist.
So they're regular. Yeah.
So that's
Okay,
going to be
cool.
exciting. That'll be
that's cool.
One coming up.
Yeah, and I love the Crime Syndicate. So yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Owlman.
Owlman with his gigantic, creepy eyes on the top of his costume.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
And Superwoman, who's just
badass.
Yeah,
she's just looking to kick anybody.
I got to do a painting of her. I think
that'd be cool.
Yeah, Superwoman, because she's so unknown, like massively. But
yeah,
I think if you know her, you love her.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So that does it from the Misty Borderlands.
All right, we're done in the Misty Borderland Cafe. We'll leave our tip on the table and head out. And we're going to take a break. And right after this, we're going to have our showcase segment on Robin.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Your weekly dose of the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast, and of course, I had to play that with our the Batman old TV show themed thing there because our showcase segment tonight. I'm really excited about this.
Pumped. I wanted to know so much about the history of Robin's,
and that's something. I mean, Batman's always been my favorite. So these guys are all like really close to my heart. So here's our showcase segment on Robin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ninja Troll Digicast proudly presents the Showcase.
All right, this is our showcase segment where we take a closer look at basically any kind of subject we come up with. We kind of during the week we have a Word document where we just keep throwing ideas in there and we work them into little spotlight segments to show you a little bit more about a character or an artist or a writer or even events, because we did our segment on the Senate subcommittee and the birth of the Comics Code Authority. Right. So it was anything basically that we feel like we need to take a closer look at, we do. And this week we're gonna have to split it into two pieces. We were originally gonna do all the Robins in 1 week, but there was just so much.
I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. There was so much information. There's no way it's going to work. So
how many Robins, Tim? Just a quick overview. How many Robins have there been officially?
In the canon? After the New 52, there's only been 3. It was 4, but they for the New 52 retconned Stephanie Brown out of existence.
Okay.
Although we're still going to cover her next week.
Yeah, I'm curious about her because she's sort of stuck.
Yeah, and there's only like for a cup of coffee that she was Robin. Wasn't very long at all. So, but this week we're going to do Dick Grayson, who of course is the one that 90% of the people know as Robin, and Jason Todd, who was the second.
Right.
So let's just go ahead and start off. First, the Robin was first introduced in Detective Comics number 38 in 1940. He was created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson.
Wow.
Jerry Robinson is thrown in there because it's pretty much accepted that he was the artist. Bob Kane still had his name on it, but Jerry Robinson
drew the first.
Yeah, he
Robin.
actually drew the comic at the time.
Oh wow.
Bob Kane was apparently a well-known ghost, like where Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster had their studio that put out their stuff. They didn't try to hide it. Bob Kane would have other guys do it, and then he would put his name on
white
it.
label it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it was a known thing that he would do that.
Okay.
So it's been kind of accepted now that Jerry Robinson, like the Joker, Jerry Robinson created the Joker.
Oh, awesome.
So and that was Batman #1 was the first issue that the Joker showed up in.
Cool.
But in Detective number 38, they introduced Robin. He was first introduced. It was just basically an idea to get younger readers into reading comics.
Cool.
And he was the first sidekick. That's where Bucky came from. That's where Speedy, every other. Who was Sandman's sidekick? Was
Sandy.
Sandy, yeah. That's where all those came from. And it was like there for a while, everybody had to have a kid sidekick.
I mean, even sooner. Well, this is the 40s, so it would have been before the Lone Ranger, right? Like Tonto and stuff.
Well, yeah. Lone Ranger was.
When did
he was on radio. He was in the 20s, I believe.
Okay.
I'd have to look that up and make sure. But he was grown. I mean, he wasn't like Tonto wasn't a kid. Yeah, he was an Indian that basically saved his life.
Right.
So there's another idea for a showcase. Lone Ranger.
Right, you got Johnny Depp.
Yeah. I still haven't
Star
seen
of the
that
show.
I still haven't seen that one.
He
the new
stole
one?
it. He stole it.
Did he? Okay. Yeah. I was a little hesitant on that.
That's good.
It was going to be. Was it good? Okay.
Yeah, it's worth
good.
it.
Okay. Because that was a big part of my childhood was watching reruns of the Lone Ranger.
Awesome.
So, but the Boy Wonder and the look of the costume were inspired by Robin Hood. Well, a mixture of Robin Hood and the bird itself. That's why the color scheme was the bird.
Yeah.
But kind of the
red
look,
shirt, the red breast, right?
Yeah, exactly. The look was kind of the Robin Hood. The Errol Flynn movie had just been out, I think a couple of years before then. So that's why you got the little booties and the leggings basically, and the green panties, which look ludicrous now when you look at it. But it was they were going for a
where'd the yellow come from? Right? Because is a Robin have yellow on it? Or
no, I
Robin
think that
Hood
was just I think that was they just wanted like a splash of color.
Yeah.
Because Batman was very dark.
Right.
So so they wanted to kind of lighten things up. Dick Grayson was as a character was an either depending on how it's looked at now, he was either 8 years old or 12 years old. I've seen both in the description.
Okay.
But he was a circus acrobat, part of the Flying Graysons in Haley's Circus. And they were on tour, and right before a performance in Gotham City, Dick overheard two gangsters trying to extort protection money from the owner of the circus. He told them to get lost, and then they sabotaged the trapeze wire that his family was performing on. And during their performance, the wire snapped, and his mother and father fell to their death. So it was right there, right in front of him, and Bruce Wayne was also at the performance. So he saw in Dick Grayson, he saw basically a similarity between the two of them because their lives had both been ruined by crime. They both lost their parents.
Yeah.
And so he felt sorry for him, and he arranged to adopt him. Well, it depends. Some I think originally it was said that he was just his legal ward, which I don't even know what that. That's illegal or something. I'm not sure that's a legal description that we even use anymore. But in others, like he adopted him. but he took him in either way. He took him in, and he eventually he told him like, okay, I know what you're going through. This happened to me, and he eventually trained him, and they actually go after Tony Zuko, who is the gangster that did it.
Took out his parents.
Yeah, they went after him and captured him themselves. Then throughout the 40s and the 50s, they were pretty much, it was always presented as the dynamic duo.
Mm-hmm.
It was Batman and Robin. It was always that way.
That was a winning formula.
Yeah, exactly. And it was there was very rarely was there a Batman story that didn't have Robin in it.
Mm-hmm.
But he also had solo stories in Star Spangled Comics.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That might be fun to pick up some of those Star Spangled Comics and see. Yeah.
What year was this? Late 40s?
This was in 40. Well, it says 40s and 50s, so it was probably throughout.
Yeah.
Because I don't know exactly when Star Spangled Comics was printed.
That's cool.
But it would be fun to find some of those.
Oh wow.
Some of those.
These are real golden age.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
That was from 41 to 52.
It had the Star Spangled Kid and the Stripesy Newsboy Legion.
Stripesy.
Robin the Boy Wonder and Tomahawk.
Nice.
Yeah.
But in 1964, in The Bold and the Brave number 54, they introduced a junior version of the Justice League, including, and at the time they didn't call them the Teen Titans, but it included Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash. It was just a team up of those three. And they did it. It was, of course, it was very popular. So they did it again, and when they did it again, they actually named them as the Teen Titans, and they were joined by Speedy and Wonder Girl. So you had Robin, sidekick of Batman, Aqualad, Aquaman sidekick, Kid Flash from Flash, Speedy was Green Arrow's sidekick, and Wonder Girl was Wonder Woman's sidekick.
Yep.
So that was the original Teen Titans, and he is accepted as the leader of the Titans from his
tenure as a
his tactical knowledge that he's gotten from Batman, and from his tenure, like you said, he's been the sidekick the longest. So
yeah.
So he was, and Batman was usually, if not the leader of the Justice League, he was at the least he was the tactician,
right,
for the League,
right.
So he was kind of the one coming up with the plans of what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So in 1969, the team of writer Denny O'Neil and artist Neil Adams began to return Batman to his darker roots. A big part of that is they wrote Robin out of more of the stories.
That's where we get 70s Batman.
Exactly.
Right.
It was
the blue suit and the gray.
Dark stories, and they wanted to be very serious. And Robin was still kind of the ray of light in the whole thing. So they wanted to get away from the campiness and the holy puns and all that stuff, because
just 4 years earlier, right, you had the TV show which
exactly
and reinforced that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that people always talk about the TV show, and it was so much so far away from what the Batman we know now, which is what it was originally. And they talk about the TV show doing that, and I was like, but it wasn't just the TV show. The reason the TV show was that way is because the comics were that way at the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
you
had
Batman because of the comics code, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Batman couldn't kill people or shoot them anymore.
It just went too far.
Yep.
And you had these weird, crazy, like Batman was turned into a genie in one episode or one issue, and so you had stuff like that. So they wanted to get away from that, and a big part of that was writing Robin out of the series.
Interesting.
And at the time, they had instead of the Boy Wonder, now he had grown up a little bit, and he was Robin the Teen Wonder. They actually there's
a sub.
There's Detective Comics that say Batman and Robin the Teen Wonder. So there's actually covers that you can find that say that.
The Teen Wonder.
But he grows up. Basically, he grows up. He graduates high school, and he goes to Hudson University.
What was the high school that he went to? It was like two presidents' names combined.
I don't remember, but it
was like Jefferson Cleveland High School or something.
They jammed two presidents together. Yeah. But yeah, he left and went to Hudson University, which I think was supposed to be upstate. They never said a state; they just said upstate.
Oh. Okay.
It's an indeterminate state, but
yeah. Right. This hurts the where Gotham is thing because like I've seen on some maps Gotham is in like Delaware.
And that's another thing that I want to do a showcase on is the
Yeah.
DC geography.
Oh, that'd be
Because
fun.
Marvel Comics is set in a real like Spider-Man's in New York.
Yeah. DC
And
has a bunch of fake city names.
DC has a bunch of fake cities.
Keystone, Starling, or Star, Coast, right? Yeah.
So I want to do a showcase on the DC geography and where these are supposed to be and like how they're because Gotham City and Metropolis are supposed to be like on the other side of a bay.
Right.
That they and that's what they're doing as far as the movie
is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely an upcoming showcase there.
Cool.
Throughout the 70s, Robin only had a few appearances in Batman. It's like every once in a while, I guess he would come home from college and
do his laundry.
And that. Yeah, and they had a short-lived Teen Titans series that didn't last very long.
Oh, it's just the original Teen Titans.
Yes. Then not the George Perez version. That started in 1980. 1980, the new Teen Titans series started with the incredible George Perez.
Yeah.
And of course, again, Robin is the leader. But this is when they included Raven and Starfire.
Yeah, Beast Boy too.
Beast Boy too, I believe. Yeah, he's Cyborg was included as well.
Yeah. Kid Flash, Starfire, Raven.
Yeah, Kid Flash and
Wonder Girl.
Wonder Girl are still there, but then Raven and Starfire came in. Changeling. And Changeling was part of the Doom Patrol before he got into the Titans. And because he mentions it every once in a while in Titans, he'll talk about like they'll walk in the room and he's right in the middle of a story from something that happened with the Doom Patrol. So
that's a nice way to work it in.
Yeah.
Hey, one random thing. I was looking at an old Teen Titans issue from back in the day. Teen Titans number 50. There's a character called the Harlequin that looks like a female Joker.
It does. I remember that.
I mean, but this character appears to be a hero because they're in the faces with Kid Flash, Wonder Girl. Is that Mal? Speedy and Robin.
Mal? Is it Mal Dunk?
Mal, yeah, he's got like red skin.
Yeah, was the only thing I could find. And I know there was a Harlequin. Okay, this is it. Clown theme, DC Comics character. It was originally a foe of a Golden Age Green Lantern, and later became his wife. The second Harlequin originally debuted as the Joker's daughter and was a member of Teen Titans.
Oh, wow. So, because I've heard all about this stuff about Joker's daughter and whatnot.
Joker's daughter is nuts.
Yeah.
He's absolutely nuts.
And it's not Harley Quinn
She's
now.
not Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
No, Joker's daughter is just basically an insane fangirl. That when Joker cut his face off, which
and then wore it.
Yeah. Before he got it back. Well, when he got it back from her, he wore it, but she had it. And so, it was, it was disgusting. So, but yeah, in 1980, the new Teen Titans series started up with Robin again as the leader, and Dick Grayson. Yeah, see, it's disgusting. Why did you Google that?
Because you always say Google that.
Well,
I'm regretting it now.
Dick Grayson became tired of being Batman's sidekick and actually decided to give up the name.
Yeah.
In the New Titans number 39.
Yeah, I remember that. He walked away.
Yeah, the cover of this, it's an awesome, one of my favorite covers.
Who is it that's walking with him?
That was Wally, Kid Flash.
Right, he puts it down.
Yeah, because Kid Flash, it was the same issue that Kid Flash quit, but Wally is quitting entirely. And that's the thing. He tells them all that he's quitting.
Yeah.
And then Dick says, "Well, I guess I can go ahead and say this too," and they think he's quitting being a superhero as well. And he's like, "Listen, I can't quit this because I don't know anything else.
Yeah,
I don't know any other way to live. I'm just saying, right now, I can't be Robin." And this is actually I wrote this a quote here from what he says. Robin will always be the back half of Batman but Robin belongs with Batman fighting at his side. Trouble is, I don't.
Ooh.
So that's the thing. He knows he needs to make that transition. He doesn't know what he wants
to become.
Yeah. But he knows that he's not that guy anymore.
Wow.
And Wally was he was actually having trouble
quitting.
Huh?
Oh wait, wasn't his powers like going away?
They were
and
kind of
coming
stuttering
back?
out. Yeah, they were giving him trouble.
Yeah.
So he was quitting entirely. But the cover is just phenomenal. I always love that cover. It's nothing but a white background and the two of them walking away in normal clothes, and then their uniforms are kind of like
all
laid
over,
around
yeah.
like they've just taken them off and thrown them.
Yeah.
And that's when they decided to give that up. That was New Titans number 39. Then in Tales of the Teen Titans number 44, although it's a different name, New Titans number 30 was number 39.
Yeah.
Then Tales of the Teen Titans was 44. It's the same series, it just changed names at 41.
Really?
They changed it from the New Titans into the Tale of the Teen Titans.
All right. We'll have to
figure
out why.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. But in issue 44, the rest of the Titans had been kidnapped by Deathstroke, and
I've seen that cover.
Yes,
yeah.
Dick decided that he he needed to do something, and runs upstairs and gets this uniform and comes back down, and he reveals himself as Nightwing. That's his new identity, and his new costume has got the biggest popped collar. George Perez loved high collars.
What was it?
When
Studio
he-
54 days?
When he drew him as Robin, he had this giant collar.
The pop collar.
The pop collar, yeah. And it was to the point to where, okay, you can't see.
Yeah. How does that
It's
help
not
you?
just a popped, polo collar. It's like reaching to the top of your head.
I mean, at least the Luthor with the armor had those little mirrors that he could see with. Come on, George, you got
There's no way. He loved that stuff, though. He had this gigantic, big, huge pop collar. If you look up his original outfit, it's just nuts. But yeah, he became Nightwing at that. So he was way worse than that.
Yeah,
that was
modest.
Yeah, that's modest. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would go on to. He would actually go on to take the mantle of Batman on 2 separate occasions. The first time was during the Nightfall story after Bruce Wayne's back was broken by Bane.
Yeah.
Then after the events of the Final Crisis, when Bruce was believed to be dead, but was actually just sent back in time. Actually, the first time when Bane broke his back, originally Batman gave the mantle of or Bruce gave the mantle of Batman to Azrael.
Oh,
so that's where we call Asbat. Yeah. And the reason he did that is he felt like that Dick had grown into his own person and
wouldn't have been Batman.
And
wouldn't have been appropriate.
Wouldn't have been. He didn't want to put that on him.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, he didn't want him to get hurt. He didn't want to, because he knew good and well that if he asked Dick to be Batman, first thing he would do would go after Bane.
Oh.
And he was a little gun shy. He didn't want him to be hurt.
Right.
So he didn't even ask him. He just gave it to
Azrael,
to Jean-Paul Valley.
Yeah.
Who was Azrael, and that hurt Dick a lot and they had to kind of thrash that out and say, why could you not come to me? Why could you not? I mean, because they've had a contentious relationship after he left, and this gets into more of the stuff with Jason Todd, because they have they have to come back a lot in their relationship, but they've had a kind of a contentious relationship where it's like any son with a father. He grows up, they grow a little bit apart.
Mm-hmm.
Then, he wants to respect him being an adult, but he's like, oh, how could you ask somebody else to be Batman and not me?
Yeah, I could see.
And
he's pretty hurt. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it hurt him. So when Azrael ended up going nuts and they had to take him down, after that, Bruce Wayne, his back was healed, and he came back, and they took down Azrael. And at the end of that, he was like, I'm not ready to be Batman again. I need you to do that. So he gave it to Dick at that point.
He took it on?
Yes. So
Oh,
and it
wow.
wasn't very long. It wasn't like it was after Final Crisis.
Okay.
But it was actually a series called Prodigal. He probably was Batman for probably close to a year, maybe.
Wow, that's a long time. Anything major happened during that time, or?
Not really, not a lot. It was Tim Drake was his and he still had the long hair, so he had like a kind of a mullet Batman going.
Roblet.
Yeah, yeah. So and you can see the case behind him.
Yeah,
he put his Nightwing costume up in a case in the Batcave.
Yeah. No collar on that one.
Yeah, exactly. That had been shaved down by that point. But yeah, it was a very emotional thing because Bruce didn't want to. He didn't want to even ask him because he knew if he asked, he would.
Right.
And it was like, okay, but he's his own person now.
Right. So that's good. We shouldn't then.
We should mess with that. Yeah. Just
right.
let him be his own guy, and this psycho over here that I've trained for no reason, he can be Batman.
Yeah.
But after the New 52 reboot, he was back to being Nightwing, but with a different. The original Nightwing costume had blue and yellow accents on it.
Right.
After the New 52 reboot, it was
black
red
and
accents.
Blue.
No, it was red.
Red. Okay.
Yeah, there's a red. If you search Nightwing, you'll find that it's basically the same style.
I see.
Except it's
New 52.
Yeah, it's got red accents instead of blue.
It looks a little bit like Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
with
the
red emblem.
Yeah. But then during the Forever Evil crossover, Dick was captured by the crime syndicate, who unmasked him on live TV.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was revealed that Nightwing was Dick Grayson. They then attach him to a device called the Murder Machine, which I think I saw open for Motley Crue. It's like early 90s. But that's controlled by his heart rate, and it's impossible to escape from the machine alive.
Oh,
because it's attached to his heart rate.
Yeah.
So the Justice League was there, and at the time, I think he still is. Lex Luthor was part of the Justice League.
What?
Exactly.
Right.
But Lex Luthor and Batman arrive to rescue him. Luthor stops his heart to get him out of the machine. Batman goes ape and starts beating the crap out of Luthor because he thinks he just killed him.
Yeah.
And he's like, we can bring him back. And like Pulp Fiction style.
EpiPens.
Yeah, jams the adrenaline needle right into his heart and jacks him wide open.
And Dick comes back.
Yeah, and he comes back to life.
Wow.
With the world believing him dead, Batman asked him to go undercover in the spy organization Spiral. And he infiltrates Spiral and becomes Agent 37. And that's where he is currently now in the new series Grayson. He's a spy.
Yeah, I was wondering.
And it's a good series. I like it. I like it a lot. And they modified his costume. He's now got a blue and black costume, very reminiscent of kind of a mixture of Batman and like Tim Drake's Robin outfit.
Is this like from the ones from the Batman games, the Nightwing costumes?
Yes, kind of like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got a G on his chest, like the for Grayson.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's very similar to the R.
R for Robin. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's where he is now.
And he's got the stun sticks. That's like his weapon of choice, right?
Yeah. The Eskrima sticks, basically, but he has them kind of souped up because Eskrima is a Malaysian martial art that uses the two sticks.
Yeah,
he's trained in that, but they're almost like cattle prods. They've got electrical charges in them. So, but after Dick Grayson was written out of the title, new editor Lynn Wein realized the disadvantages of not having a character to act as a sounding board for Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you and I were talking about it, like now you have like a running commentary for each character does an inner monologue and they narrate.
You know what's up.
That didn't happen then.
Yeah.
So you needed a character to use as a sounding board.
Say, hey, weren't you thinking?
Yeah. So Batman, they needed something like that. So Jason Todd.
Just imagining Batman going like, "Did I leave the iron on?" It's funny. Alfred never has a second cup of coffee.
But he always makes the coffee. So, but Jason Todd was introduced.
Yeah.
Pre-Crisis. Then there's two different versions of Jason Todd.
Really?
He was introduced pre-Crisis in Batman number 368 as almost a complete clone of the Dick Grayson character.
Wow. What year was this?
That was
early 80s?
83 maybe.
Oh. All right. So right up before Crisis.
Yeah, it was not far before.
So they call him pre-Crisis Jason Todd?
Yeah. Let me look here. The 368, 83. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yes, in 1983 of March, he was introduced pre-Crisis.
And what's this costume I'm seeing?
It was the costume he was originally in was no, that's not him.
No,
that's he was originally actually no, that's probably his. He was a circus performer as well, and he originally did fight in his circus outfit
because that's
what it is.
That looks like the costume that the Robins exchanged in that earlier Crisis
I'd never
story.
seen that picture right there, but that was the thing when he was first introduced. He was almost a complete clone of Dick Grayson. He was the son of circus acrobats that were killed by Killer Croc, and he was adopted by Bruce Wayne. He had strawberry blonde hair until he officially became Robin, and at that point he dyed his hair black to look like Robin.
To look like Dick.
The Robin that everybody knows. Yeah, but I'd never seen that picture before. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a picture here of a panel of looks like Dick Grayson and Jason Todd fighting. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, it looks like Robin and Batgirl are like grabbing him.
Huh. I have to look that up.
Yeah, we should look that up. That's interesting. So this is
that's
pre-Crisis.
That's pre-Crisis.
Jason Todd.
Yeah, and he was almost exactly the same way as Dick Grayson. He was the outgoing, exuberant, just like Dick. He was always cracking jokes and stuff like that. Post-Crisis, it was like a year or two. It was 87, I think.
Okay.
Was when they introduced him post-Crisis. Yes, 87, June of 87. Batman first meets Jason Todd while Jason Todd is trying to steal the wheels off of the Batmobile.
He says, "You little son of a gun, try and catch me, you big boob."
Yeah.
As he gets away. I guess he shoved Batman in the gut.
Boob. That's awesome.
Yeah, here it is. I don't believe it, he says. Yeah.
Yeah, the Batmobile didn't look like the way it did. It's just look like a regular stock car.
Is that? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he first caught him trying to steal the tires off the Batmobile. Batman sees that he gets into a school for troubled kids, but it turns out to be Ma Gun's School for Crime.
Ma Guns?
Ma Gun. Yeah. And he helps Batman shut down the school, and Batman, fearing that if he didn't help him, that Jason would just become part of the criminal element, he takes him in and trains him. And he re-debuted in Robin costume in Batman 410. And he was just a little jerk. He was the whole time. He was just he was always just he was ticked off. He was yelling and screaming. He wouldn't do what he was told, and he was just a jerk. And then this new version did not go over well.
I was gonna say, right? Yeah, so this resonated really bad with fans. So
yes, it just did not go over well because he was. I mean, it's because he was there for training, and it was very different from Robin that we knew.
Yeah,
and it was almost a polar opposite.
Yeah,
and he had issues with Batman telling him what to do, and it was not really. It didn't really go over
clean
well.
the Batcave.
Yeah, it was so. In DC at the time, DC had been trying to come up with a way to offer fans an opportunity to influence the creative process, and they'd settled on the idea of a telephone poll, not a poll like the wires would be on, but a call-in poll where you would call one number for a yes and one number for a no.
Yeah.
So, and they had in the meetings, they had talked about, and Denny O'Neil had said, listen, who was the Batman editor at the time, said, if we're going to do this, it's got to be something significant.
Yeah.
It can't just be a throwaway. So we have to do it on something big. And knowing that some people, were not liking Jason, let's do it on him.
So they were getting a ton of fan mail.
They were getting
saying,
a ton of
curse
film,
you and how dare you guys, you ruined it.
Yeah, and so they already knew people weren't really liking him. So let's use this new idea that we're coming up with to decide the fate of Jason Todd.
Wow. So
the vote was set up in the 4-part story, A Death in the Family, in Batman number 426 through 429.
Wow.
Jason, the story itself was Jason had found his biological mother, who he had thought was his biological mother, had died. It turned out she wasn't. So he found they were like 3 different options that it could be.
Oh wow.
So they went and they found the first 2 that wasn't her.
Yeah.
The third one, who obviously by process of elimination has to be his biological mother, she is working. She was working as an aid worker in Ethiopia. So they go over there to find her. He goes and talks to her, and she was his mother, and they kind of have a reconciliation, and then he reveals to her that he is Robin. And but it turns out that the Joker was there and had been blackmailing her to steal the drugs that they should have been handing out to people, so he can sell it on the black market. But at the same time, he's been blackmailing her because she's been embezzling from the aid organization. Yeah. So to clear her debt, she gives Jason in Robin costume to the Joker.
Ooh.
And
then we get that famous set of panels that are gut wrenching.
Yeah, gut wrenching, and drawn just absolutely crazy. Where the Joker with the crowbar, glee on his face.
Oh yeah.
Like a whole page of panels of
beat down.
Just a beat down of Jason Todd.
Oh yeah.
And just the way it was drawn by Jim Aparo, who is one of my favorite Batman artists. The way it was drawn with just the look on Joker's face, and you see blood flying, and
every whack is just...
all you don't see him hitting him.
No.
You see his face, and like in one panel the crowbar's up, the next one it's down, and
it's like Psycho, right?
Yeah.
It's like you see everything but your mind fills
your
in
mind
the blanks.
fills it in, and what your mind fills in is way worse than if you actually saw it.
There's one hit, right? That you see like the first shot.
Yeah,
basically.
you see the first shot. Yeah, but other than that, like the real beatdown is kind of off camera. But yeah, the Joker viciously beat him with a crowbar and left him unconscious in a pool of blood, which he referred to as, quote, a little messy. Like as he drops the crowbar and he's walking out, and he was like, it's a little messy in here.
Oh my God.
He then set a bomb and left Robin and his mother to die. In the last panel of Batman 427, Batman arrives just in time to watch the warehouse explode.
Yeah.
And 2 numbers were listed at the end. I think it was on the inside of the back cover. There was 2 numbers listed, and it was: do you want to survive, Robin to survive? Call this number. If you want Robin to die, call this number.
Oh wow.
It was nuts.
Do you remember seeing this? I mean,
I do.
Yeah,
I absolutely do. Yeah, I remember reading. I didn't vote.
Yeah.
But I remember reading it.
Because 900 numbers were so scary back then.
900 numbers, you had to pay.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
No, right. And you never know how much you got charged.
I'll read it. When it comes out, I'll read it, but I'm not going to pay. I already paid for the comic, man. Paid 75 cents for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it it was nuts. And it was, I mean, the fact that they were basically just callously saying, you want him to live or you want him to die?
Oof.
Here you can vote. It was very callous. It was just nuts. And
it tells you they were ready for him to die.
And do what?
To say it that way, it just tells you that they were ready for him to die.
Yeah.
And they would have been fine with it.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
Like, but you choose. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to leave it up to you, you bloodthirsty bastards.
So how many votes were cast in total?
They were actually, it was a total of almost, it was 10,000.
Wow.
500. Yeah, but a little over 10,500.
And at 99 cents a call.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you think about that. Yeah. And the verdict of death won by just 72 votes.
Whoa.
72 votes.
That's a very close vote.
Denny O'Neil has admitted years later that hundreds of votes in the Jason Dies line came from the same person.
Ooh, all right.
So
you told me about that. That hacker dude.
They think a guy in California programmed his computer to just dial over like every 90 minutes because it was only a set number of days that you could do.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he set it to call over and over again. And about 300 they think about 300 can be attributed to him. So basically that guy killed Robin.
For $300.
Yeah,
right?
well, it was 300 calls. Yeah, so yeah, probably.
If it was 99 cents a
if
call.
It was 99 cents a call.
Assuming. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So like that one dude killed Robin because if they only won by 72 votes, you take his out of there, then but there wasn't any rules, set up to where you couldn't do that. So I guess it's it has to kind of stand. But
yeah, well, I'd love to see this original panel. I bet, or the call thing, like what that would have looked like.
Yeah, if I remember correct, it was either at the bottom of the page or it was the inside and back cover. I can't remember exactly which.
What was the issue?
428.
Batman.
Yeah, 427. Sorry. Yeah,
okay.
Batman 427. But it actually blew up in the mainstream media.
Here it is.
Is that it? Oh yeah, that's the back.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the inside back cover. That's right.
Telling you, like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Batman 427. Ah, interesting.
Yeah, but
here it is. Robin will die because the Joker wants revenge, but you can prevent it with a telephone call. Blah 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 number. Oh, the number's still there. 1-900-720-2666. And then 720-2660. Robin, Joker fails and Robin lives, or the Joker succeeds and Robin will not survive.
Yeah, so it was inside back cover.
Wow, you had 2 days to call.
Yeah, it was only a certain amount of time. I remember that.
That's it.
It was only a
50
certain amount of
cents
time
for each call.
Okay.
Which will connect and acknowledge the message. Okay, so then, 50 cents per call. So it's still $150.
Yeah, $150 he spent just to kill Robin. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah,
who's this guy?
I want to know who he is. Yeah,
right.
But it got a lot of negative press.
I bet.
Yeah, a lot of negative comments in the press and from the comic community. Frank Miller, especially, came out and said that it was, quote, the ugliest thing I've seen in comics and the most cynical.
And when was the Jason Todd death?
It was after
Dark Knight Returns?
Yes.
Who got the crap kicked out of him in that book.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he didn't die. So, maybe that's...
But the thing was, it was always accepted in Dark Knight Returns that Batman had retired because of something that happened to Robin.
Something really bad.
They didn't really say what. It kind of like in retrospect, people have always said, "Oh, well, when Jason died, he retired," but it came before.
It never happened.
It hadn't happened yet.
Oh wow!
So as a matter of fact, in '86 when he did Dark Knight Returns, they hadn't even reintroduced Jason.
Interesting.
Yeah. So. But yeah,
Frank Miller came out to say that. That's interesting.
Yeah. But Jason's death was then published in the next issue, Batman 428, because he actually died trying to save his mother. He covered the bomb. And that's how he died.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. What cover?
The cover, or it's not a cover image. It's the image that Jim Aparo had of Batman holding his body. Is awesome.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, Jim Aparo is one of my favorite Batman artist. So
yeah,
it's
work is solid.
It's just absolutely awesome. To me, when I think Batman, it's Jim Aparo.
And not Neil Adams?
Drawing that I see. Yes,
It's
absolutely.
Jim Aparo.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they received plenty of hate mail, a lot of negative commentary in the press, but they stuck with it, and actually, Denny at one point, and this in retrospect, this is really funny, but at one point at a convention, Denny said, with all this and the way it happened, it would be really crappy if we brought him back. Oh, probably should have said that. Because during the Hush storyline in Batman 617 in 2003, the identity of the mysterious figure Hush was revealed to be Jason.
That's right. Oh,
my
God. Yes.
But it was revealed to be Jason at the end of an issue.
Right.
But it turned out the next one, that was Clayface.
Right. That was, he faked him. And Batman was
exactly,
like horrified.
Exactly.
I
was
remember
horrified.
that. Yeah, right. And it was a fake,
He came upon Jason's, Jason's grave, and Hush was revealed to be Jason, and he just lost his mind. But that's why Hush used that, because he knew that would affect him that way.
Oh, I remember that. That
yeah.
was
And
brutal.
and I remember reading it going, holy crap, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And so that was it was just a trick, but that was in 2003. Then 2 years later in 2005, in the Under the Hood storyline, the new Red Hood was revealed to be Jason Todd. In Batman 638.
And that was legitimate.
That was legitimate, yes. He had been resurrected by Talia al Ghul in the Lazarus Pit.
Oh.
She took him, resurrected him, and then trained him. He trained with the League of Shadows. That's why he's so violent.
Yeah.
Both the Lazarus Pit and his training with the League of Shadows.
Yeah, just screwed him up.
Yeah.
The League of Shadows different than the League of Assassins?
Same thing.
The same
just
thing.
Different
Okay.
Name, yeah.
Just different. Okay.
And the trip through the pit, of course, changed him. It took an angry young man and turned him into a gun-wielding villain with very little regard for life. I mean, he would kill at the drop of a hat.
Wow.
So in the 1 year later period, which followed up Infinite Crisis, Jason patrolled the streets of New York City as a murderous version of Nightwing. And actually, when Dick Grayson shows up, he refuses to give up the persona. And actually even goes, hey, we should team up. We should be partners.
That'd be great. You could be my sidekick.
He was nuts. And then they actually ended up they were kind of forced to team together to take somebody down.
Wow.
And after that he left the city and the Nightwing persona,
like legitimately,
to Dick. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And for a time during the Countdown to Final Crisis series, Jason went to Earth 51 and wore the Red Robin costume that was designed by Alex Ross for Kingdom Come, and in Kingdom Come, it was worn by a middle-aged Dick Grayson. But Earth 50
most likely be a Earth 2.
Actually, no, it was Kingdom Come, so it's totally different.
Yes, it's separate.
A different
universe.
Earth. I forget what number it is, but
yeah.
But Earth 51 is basically the Earth without crime, but you find out the reason it has no crime is because Batman killed all the supervillains.
Of course.
And so that would be perfect for Jason.
Yeah.
And so he was there, and he was with that Batman for a while, and then after the death of the Batman of Earth 51, and before its destruction, he was returned to our Earth, or Earth 1, or whatever you want to call it.
Gotcha.
And then in the Battle for the Cowl, which was the follow-up to Batman R.I.P., Jason is shown as a vigilante dressed in a version of the Batman costume, but still as pretty much a bona fide villain. He battles the Batman family, like each one of them individually, and defeats them all up until Dick defeats him by taking up the mantle of Batman. That's when Dick becomes Batman again.
Cool.
And he finally takes him down. and okay, yeah, he takes him down after finally saying okay, because at first Dick didn't want to do it, but there was so many people kind of almost like jockeying, like the series was called Battle for the Cow.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, who's gonna fill in that? And basically Dick was like, okay, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
And that's when, because Jason was making noises like he was gonna be Batman, and Dick was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, but after the 52 reboot, he became the leader of a group called the Outlaws, featuring Roy Harper and Starfire, which is definitely kind of a
Roy Harper's Speedy.
Speedy,
right?
yeah, exactly. And he has reconciled with Batman and is an active part of the Batman family now. So he's still a little more violent than he would like it,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's still part of it. And actually, the Outlaws was canceled in like the DCU thing.
Yeah.
But they're doing Red Hood Arsenal.
Oh.
So they're still, him and Roy are still together. It's kind of like not really an odd couple because they're very similar.
They fly off the handle.
Yeah, and they've dialed Jason back a lot.
Yeah.
So he's not nearly as violent. So
he's on par with Roy, or is Roy still?
Yeah, they're about the same.
Yeah. And is this version of Roy? Did he have the Mirakuru? I mean, does he sort of have that? Or is
No,
he
that was
just
just
punk?
a TV show. That was
that's to give him that
yeah
juice. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the new series now, and they've made him into kind of an anti-hero now. But he is part of like he works with Batman all the time, and it was a line. We'll get into this next week with Tim Drake, but it was kind of when he came back, it was a little contentious there because Jason's nuts anyway, and he's like, oh, you're the one that thinks he's taking my place.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of issues there.
Oh man!
So
none of these Robins like each other.
Well, actually, and we'll get into that with Tim Drake next week. Dick Grayson became like a older brother figure for Tim, to where it was like they go on vacation together. Like after Infinite Crisis in the 1 year, not the 1 year later period, because that's 1 year later, but during that 1 year,
right.
That's why Batman was nowhere to be found. He said, we need to just step back.
Is this in Infinite Crisis?
After Infinite Crisis, yeah.
Okay.
And he and Alfred and Dick and Tim went and just traveled around the world.
Cool.
So yeah, it's very much a family. It's like almost like Alfred is the grandfather, and then Bruce is the father, and the older brother, and then Tim as the younger son. So nice. Yeah, you get those, and then it's especially with Nightwing and Jason Todd was a very interesting situation because, and that's one of my favorite Batman issues, is Batman 416, the first time Nightwing meets the new Robin, because Dick Grayson found out there was a new Robin by reading it in the paper.
Awesome. Greatest way to find out.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, and it bothered him because, yes, I've moved on. And it was like a kid growing up and leaving home. Like, okay, I've become my own person.
But the original trajectory was you fill in, will you be the next Batman after,
yeah, it was
apprenticeship.
It was almost kind of not really accepted, but it was definitely, I'm sure it was definitely what Bruce had planned.
Well, yeah.
And so, yeah, he just went and got a new Robin, and he didn't talk to Dick at all about it.
Yeah.
And there was in Batman 416, he comes and Robin is basically he's sticking his nose into an investigation that Dick has been doing, and he messes things up. So he has to come in and save Robin. And after they get done, Robin's like, "Oh, hey, thanks, you're Nightwing, right?" And he's, "All right, knock it off, kid." He goes, "Listen, tell Bruce we need to talk. I'll meet him in the cave." And then takes off. And Jason doesn't know who Nightwing is.
Know that? Yeah.
Jason has no idea who Nightwing is, so he's like, "Wait, what? How does he know that Batman is Bruce,
and that we have a cave,
and we have a cave.
Yeah.
And who the hell is this?
That's right.
And so, it shows later he's back talking to Batman, and Batman has to explain to him who he is. And he's at first afraid that Dick's coming to take his job back.
Yeah.
So, but then Nightwing shows up, and you have a very emotional confrontation between the two of them in the Batcave. And at first,
Dick and Bruce.
yes, and at first Bruce won't take his cowl off. Dick walks in and he takes his mask off and he lays it down on the table, and Bruce won't take his cowl off because it's his emotional mask. He doesn't want people
to see.
And he does, that's his way to remain emotionless and stay out of this, because
this is like wide-eyed Batman.
Yes.
Right, where you never see his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he finally, he screams at him and just take the mask off, and he finally takes the cowl off, and they have at it. And it's like, how can you do that? I found out there was a new Robin by reading it in the paper. How could you do that?
It was the crossword puzzle answer.
Yeah. And he finally, and Bruce basically is forced into admitting, all right, I was lonely. I missed you.
Wow.
And so it was a very emotional. It wasn't like your typical fisticuffs Batman issue.
Like, I did this because for you, for your own good. He was like, listen, it's a moment of weakness.
Yeah, and it was very emotional. It's very much a family thing, and that's the way I've always looked at it. Is like Robins are his sons.
Yeah.
And he cares about them, and he wants them to grow up, and he wants them to be safe, but at the same time, they have a job to do.
That's right.
It's the way he looks at it. So yeah, Batman 416 was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've actually made a art piece out of that.
Nice.
Because you have a lot of good
panels in there.
Yeah,
and
it's Jim Aparo also.
And that cover, right? You love that cover.
The cover is my Nightwing. Like Robin is laid down, getting ready to get his butt kicked by these menacing goons, and then Nightwing's coming in, flying in through a
what was that?
Skylight 416.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I want to see this.
He's come jumping through the skylight to save Robin, and there was a scene where, like, when he does bust through that skylight to come after Robin, they assume the villains assume it's Batman.
And they're like, Jim Starlin? Is he the?
Starlin's the writer.
Right, he's the writer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think. Wait a minute. Is it
Batman 416?
Is it Starling Aparo?
Starlin Aparo DiCarlo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Starling's the writer. Aparo's the artist.
Nice.
And there's when he busts in, he says they assume, like I said, they assume that it's Batman. They're like, holy crap, it's the Bat. And you get a close up panel of his face, and he's got the crazy eyes behind the mask, and he's like, no, it's not him, but I'm almost as bad. If you're lucky, you might leave with your teeth.
Yeah.
And he just kicks the crap out of him.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's an awesome dynamic. That's the one thing that I've always loved. It's a family thing, and they have just, like any family, at times you fight, but they're still your family.
Yeah.
And you do anything to protect them. So
nice.
So, but yeah, that is the first part one of our Robin showcase. Like I said, next week we're gonna pick up with Tim Drake, who is the third Robin, and then we'll have Stephanie Brown and Damian Wayne, who is the current Robin.
Yeah.
And then we're going to look at some alternate continuities.
Cool.
So we'll have some other
Frank Miller.
The Frank Miller, Carrie Kelly, and the some of the other, like the Earth 2 Robin.
Yeah.
And some of those other ones. And we're going to look at the on-screen versions as well.
Oh, nice.
Because he said there's been several different versions of mostly Dick Grayson as Robin on screen.
Yeah.
But there's been some other versions when you get to the animated stuff. You've had some others.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that next week. And we've been meaning to do this for a couple weeks. Have like a pick of the week.
Oh, nice.
And something that we're getting into, and something that we're reading right now that we think you as our loyal trolls might enjoy. So you've got a big handful of stuff you've gotten from Heroes. What are you looking forward to reading there?
I've got to recommend Star Wars Shattered Empire 1. Incredible. Phil Noto cover. It's a great story because it picks up. You basically see the last moments of the Battle of Endor, and then what happens after. And it's basically an Imperial outpost that's stronger than the one that they took out in the movie on the other side of Endor.
Oh, wow.
So and then Han has this great line where he just says, "Oh, this means it's not really over."
Yeah. So
And
that
that's a
was
great
just
line.
basically the one that's where the force field projector
The
was.
shield generator.
That's
yeah,
they
for
just
the
went
rebuilt
there
Death
because
Star.
of that.
That's
Doesn't mean it's because it was a tiny little outpost.
Yeah, this one.
So-
Yeah, it's going to be bigger and badder. I'm reading the Black Canary series, so I just picked up number 4, and Deadpool versus Thanos. You can't not do that one.
Yeah, of course.
I'm still in the 1872. I picked up the second issue, which I'm excited about. And then on your recommendation, Tim, I got the Dr. Fate. I got the first 4
Have you
issues.
started reading it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But I'm stoked because I think it just looks great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
What you
and
got going on?
I'm still trying to catch up with my
Post
books.
52.
Yeah, post 52. Yeah. And the stuff I've been going for right now. I'm trying. It bugs me that it's now being canceled. But Gotham by Midnight is something I'm trying to catch up with. And some of the Secret War stuff has been so the side books has been so real. Like the Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. That is a really good story because it's Peter and Mary Jane with a daughter, and they're living in a world that's controlled by a guy named Regent, and they hunt down superheroes.
Oh,
so they have to hide their kid, and he actually makes a chip that basically knocks out your metagene power.
Oh.
So they've been able to use those chips to not be caught, but it comes to a point to where he's kind of forced into action, and he puts on the black suit.
Ooh.
And the kid freaks out. So obviously Venom's been involved here, but he goes, no, it's okay, it's just Daddy.
Yeah,
it's just Daddy. But now she has. They were. Basically forced into a situation where they're like being herded into a place that has a scanner for metagenes.
Oh.
And so they have to fight their way out, and Shield shows up, and it's like Shield is like a resistance organization now. So they get them out of there, and so now they're around other superheroes, and their kid who is Annie Mae is her name.
Annie Mae. Awesome.
And she's ready to go. She's like, no, I'm not hiding anymore.
Yeah.
You don't hide, so neither should I.
Nice.
So she's ready to be a hero.
Oh, this sounds good.
So it's very, very good. And the Civil War one is very good as well.
Cool.
It's
Civil War world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's set where there was some kind of like the confrontation in Civil War went bad and a bomb exploded in the center of the country. So like where St. Louis used to be is an area where it separates the iron from the blue.
Oh.
The blue is led by Captain America, Steve Rogers. The iron is, of course, Tony Stark.
Wow.
So you have Peter Parker is with Tony, but Mary Jane and their daughter
is on the blue.
Live in the blue.
Whoa.
And
it's
I'm
like
not sure
Berlin
why
Wall.
they're not. Yeah, exactly. So he only gets to see them every once in the blue moon.
Wow.
So
that's good.
But that's
good
really, yeah, no pun intended. And something I don't know how I didn't put this in I don't know how I missed it in the comic rack.
What's that?
But there's a coming up. There's a Robin War crossover.
Is that an extension of We Are Robin?
It starts in We Are Robin, and the Robin son of Batman, which is Damian's series. Damian is kind of traveling around because Bruce is dead. He's taken to traveling around. He returns from the solicitation that I've read. He returns to Gotham to find all these people running around saying they're Robin, and he does not like it at all.
Yeah.
So, but it's going to include everybody: Jason, Dick,
Damien. Not Damien, Tim.
Tim.
Yeah.
And this is something else we'll get into next week when we get to Tim Drake. Tim Drake is now Batman Beyond. He's in the future.
Oh.
So how are they going to do? Are they going to bring him back, or what are they? How are they going to do this? That's something I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah.
Because he went to the future and he became was it Terry McGinnis was?
Yeah, Terry McGinnis was Batman.
Batman Beyond. Yeah. He died, and so Tim took over.
Whoa.
And he's now in the suit.
In the future.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's gonna include everybody. Nightwing or Grayson. Now that's gonna be a crossover into Grayson as well. So it'll include Dick, Jason, Tim, and Damian, and the We Are Robin. So
and all the little offshoots.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different kinds.
Yeah. So that's something I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Nice.
So, and it fits in perfectly with our little spotlight or our showcase here. So
our timing is uncanny.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of time, I just want to give a quick shout out to a really good friend, and he's got a huge thing going on. John Hairston Jr., Johnny Hairston, here in town. He's an incredible comic painter. You'll see him at every con, and he does these really expressive, super colorful paintings of our favorite heroes. Rebel Base Comics and Toys here in Charlotte has commissioned him to do the Back to the Future variant cover exclusive to the store.
Nice.
So if you go to rebelbasecomics.com, you can see an image of it and get out there and buy this issue because, man, John's famous here, but I feel like he's going to go places.
Yeah.
So
and they also have
awesome.
a variant cover of Dark Knight Returns 3.
That's right.
That they'll be having as
a custom
well,
one,
so,
created by Sean Murphy, who I don't know, but
it looks really, really good.
Yeah, his artwork's tight.
It's going to be, specific to them at Rebel Base Comics. So if you want that version, you got to go to Rebel Base and get it. So
I love those variants for the specific stores. It's so cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Because it can be rough on you if you're OCD collector and you've got to have them all.
I got to go to Tuscaloosa for this one little store.
So, but that's going to wrap things up for this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for all the latest news from around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast, Twitter @Ninja Troll Show, and Instagram @Ninja Troll Digicast. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/C/Ninja Troll Digicast. And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. And make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Tim say,
Hey, maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.